June 11th, 1963. A busy intersection in Saigon. The air is thick with the smell of exhaust and the humidity of the monsoon season. A blue Austin sedan moves slowly through the traffic. It stops in the center of the road. The door opens. An elderly man in saffron robes steps out onto the asphalt. His name is Thich Quang Duc. He walks with a calm, deliberate pace to the center of the intersection. He places a small cushion on the road. He crosses his legs into the lotus position. He closes his eyes. Around him, the world is screaming. Engines rev, people shout. Police sirens wail in the distance. The chaos of a nation at war is swirling like a hurricane. But in the center of that hurricane, the monk sits in absolute stillness. He strikes a match. The flames rise up, consuming the oxygen, consuming the robes, consuming the body. But here is the detail that the history books struggle to explain. Here is the detail that defies biological logic. He does not move, he does not flinch, he does not make a sound. His breathing remains even, his muscles remain relaxed. While the world around him burns, he is somewhere else. He has accessed a fortress inside his own mind that no fire can breach. He has entered a room within himself where there is no pain, only a vast, cool silence. The soldiers watching him are terrified, not by the fire, but by his control. They realize that their rifles and their tanks are useless against a man who has conquered his own reaction to reality. They are witnessing the ultimate power of the human mind. What you are observing in this moment is not magic, it is architecture. This monk spent decades building a structure inside his consciousness. Brick by brick, breath by breath, he built a sanctuary that could withstand the greatest chaos imaginable. Most people live in a house of straw where every gust of wind, every insult, every stress at work blows the walls down. But this man lived in a fortress of stone. Tonight, we begin the process of laying the foundation for your fortress. You do not need to sit in a busy intersection. You do not need to withstand fire, but you do need to withstand the noise of modern life. The notifications, the demands, the worries about the future, the regrets about the past. These are the fires of your daily existence. They burn your energy. They disturb your rest. Tonight, we look at the blueprints used by the masters of stillness. We do not just tell you the story. We install this architecture into your subconscious while you sleep. You are safe now. You are lying down. The day is done. The external world can spin as fast as it wants, but you are about to stop moving. If you wish to master this stillness, if you wish to learn how to sleep while the world is loud, commit to this journey. Subscribe to this path and let us rewire your response to chaos. We travel back now, following the timeline of this wisdom to its source. We go back 2,500 years. We find ourselves in northern India, near the banks of the Naranjara River. The year is 528 BCE. It is evening. The heat of the day is breaking, giving way to the cool breeze of twilight. A man named Siddhartha Gautama approaches a large fig tree, known today as the Bodhi tree. He is tired. He has tried everything to find peace. He has starved himself. He has studied with gurus. He has lived in palaces. None of it worked. The noise in his mind remained. He sits down at the base of the tree. The roots form a natural cradle for his back. The ground is hard and cool. He makes a vow to himself. He says, "I will not stand up from this spot until I have found the cure for the chaos of the human mind." He closes his eyes, and then the test begins. In the ancient texts, they say he was attacked by Mara. Mara is described as a demon lord, bringing armies, storms, and arrows. But you understand this is a metaphor. Mara is not a monster under the bed. Mara is the voice in your head. As Siddhartha sits there, the storm begins. but it is a storm of thoughts. Doubt rises up like a dark cloud. What if you are wasting your time? What if you are not good enough? Remember the mistakes you made 10 years ago? Worry about what will happen tomorrow. This is the same army that attacks you when you lay your head on the pillow. The army of what if, the army of should have. The wind howls around him. Leaves are stripped from the branches. The thunder shakes the ground. A normal man would stand up and run. A normal man would fight back, arguing with the thoughts, trying to push them away. But Siddhartha does something different. He does not fight. He does not run. He performs a simple physical action. He takes his right hand, and he gently touches the ground. This is the Bhumisparsha Mudra, the earth witness gesture. He calls upon the earth itself to witness his right to be here. By touching the earth, he grounds himself in physical reality. He leaves the storm of his mind and returns to the sensation of his hand on the soil. The earth is heavy. The earth is stable. The earth has been here for billions of years. It does not care about his doubts. It does not care about his worries. It simply holds him. He borrows the stability of the ground. He realizes that the storm is happening in the sky, but the ground remains still. You understand this now. Feel your body on the mattress. Feel the contact points. Your heels, your hips, your shoulders, the back of your head. This is your earth. It is holding you. You do not need to hold yourself up. The bed is doing the work. Like the tree roots, it cradles you. When the chaos of thoughts tries to spin you around, you do what the master did. You touch the earth. You feel the gravity. Gravity is the only thing that is real right now. The thoughts are just clouds. They have no weight, but your body has weight. You sink into that weight. You let the heavy sensation travel from your legs, up your spine, into your neck. You are solid. You are immovable. The storm may rage outside, but you are part of the earth. As the night deepens under the Bodhi tree, the chaos changes its tactic. It stops trying to scare him and starts trying to distract him. This is the second phase of the teaching. The Buddha identified a mechanism of the mind that creates suffering. He called it the second arrow. Imagine a warrior crossing a field. Suddenly, he is struck by an arrow in the arm. It hurts. This is physical pain. This is an unavoidable event. In life, you will be hit by arrows. You will lose money. You will have a bad day at work. Someone will speak rudely to you. Your car will break down. These are the first arrows. They are events that happen in the physical world. No amount of meditation can stop the first arrow. It is part of being alive. But the warrior does something strange. Immediately after being hit, he takes a second arrow from his own quiver and he jams it into the same wound. He makes the pain 10 times worse. This sounds insane. Why would anyone do this? Yet you do this every day. The first arrow is the stressful email you received at 5 p.m. That is the event. It happened. It is over. The second arrow is your reaction. You go home and you replay the email in your head 100 times. You think, why do they hate me? I am going to get fired. This is unfair. You spin a story around the event. You worry about it while you eat dinner. You carry it into your bed. The email cannot hurt you anymore. It is just pixels on a screen. But you are stabbing yourself with the second arrow over and over again. The first arrow is pain. The second arrow is suffering. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Under the tree, Siddhartha saw the arrows flying at him. He saw the insults, the fears, the noise. He let the first arrow hit. He acknowledged the reality of the moment. Yes, there is noise. Yes, there is fear. But he refused to pick up the second arrow. He did not add a story to the noise. He did not judge the fear. He simply watched it. When you refuse to shoot the second arrow, the first arrow falls out. The wound heals instantly. The email is just an email. The traffic jam is just cars on a road. The noise is just sound waves. Without your reaction, the chaos has no fuel. It cannot burn. You are lying in the dark now. Look at the arrows you are carrying. Maybe you are worried about a meeting tomorrow. That is a future arrow. It has not even been shot yet, but you are already stabbing yourself with the fear of it. Put the arrow down. Place it on the floor beside the bed. It is not real. Maybe you are replaying a conversation from yesterday. That is a past arrow. It is already gone. The moment has passed. But you are keeping the wound open by thinking about it. Pull it out. Let the skin close. Let the mind smooth over. The monk in the intersection in 1963 understood this. The fire was the first arrow. It was the physical reality. But he knew that if he panicked, if he screamed, if he mentally resisted, he would be shooting 1,000-second arrows into his own soul. So he removed his reaction. He removed the self that could be hurt. He became empty space. Fire cannot burn empty space. Stress cannot stick to empty space. You are becoming empty space. The concepts of work, money, time, and obligations are heavy objects. You are holding them in your hands. Your knuckles are white from gripping them so tight. You think that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But the teaching of the tree is the opposite. When you let go, everything settles into place. Open your hands mentally. Let the objects fall. They do not shatter. They simply float away like leaves on a river. You are not the river. You are the bank. You are the observer. You watch the debris float by. You do not chase it. You do not try to fish it out of the water. You just watch. The breathing slows down. You are integrating the wisdom of the second arrow. You feel a sense of relief washing over your chest. You realize how much energy you have been wasting by fighting battles that only exist in your head. You have been fighting a war in a room where you are the only person. Lay down your weapons. There is no one to fight here. The night is a neutral territory. The darkness is not a threat. It is a blanket. It wraps around you, shielding you from the visual input of the world. Your eyes are heavy, not because you are exhausted, but because you are safe. You are returning to the factory settings of the human system. Before the buildings, before the calendars, before the clocks, there was just the rhythm of the sun and the moon. Your body remembers this rhythm. It knows how to power down. You are simply getting out of your own way. You are stopping the interference. The monk under the tree did not try to become enlightened. He stopped trying to be anything else. He sat until the mud in the water settled and the water became clear. Your mind is a glass of muddy water. All day you have been stirring it with a spoon, trying to clear it up. But the more you stir, the cloudier it gets. The only way to clear the water is to take the spoon out. Let the glass sit on the table. Leave it alone. Gravity will pull the mud to the bottom. The water will become clear on its own. You are taking the spoon out now. You are done stirring for today. The thoughts are settling. The heavy sediment of the day is sinking to the bottom of your mind, leaving the upper layers clear and transparent. You can see through it now. You can see the peace that was always there, hidden behind the noise. As we move deeper into this night, remember the image of the stone fortress. You have placed the first stone. You have grounded yourself in the earth. You have refused the second arrow. You are safe. You are still. You are ready to go deeper. The surface of the water is smooth. The reflection of the moon appears on the water. It is perfect. It is silent. It is yours. In the ancient teachings of the Shurangama Sutra, there exists a profound warning about the nature of reality and the traps of the human intellect. The Buddha sits with his disciple, Ananda, and points a single finger toward the moon glowing in the night sky. He asks Ananda what he sees. Ananda looks at the finger and begins to analyze it. He describes the fingernail, the angle of the knuckle, the skin. The Buddha gently lowers his hand and corrects him. He says, The finger is essential to point out the moon. But if you look only at the finger and mistake the finger for the moon, you lose both the finger and the moon. This is the trap you fall into every night. You mistake the idea of sleep for the experience of sleep. You mistake the anxiety about resting for the act of resting itself. You look at the clock, you adjust the pillow, you calculate the hours remaining. These are just fingers pointing. They are symbols. They are not the destination. You have become so obsessed with the map, the schedule, the tracker, the optimal conditions, that you have forgotten the territory. The territory is silence. The territory is dark. It requires no analysis. Imagine you are in a restaurant starving. The waiter hands you a menu. The menu describes the meal in perfect detail. It lists the ingredients, the flavors, the textures. You read the menu over and over. You memorize the font. You analyze the paper. But you do not eat. You cannot be nourished by the description of food. You can only be nourished by the food itself. Your mind is currently holding the menu of sleep. It is reading the list of things I need to do to relax. Put the menu down. The meal is right in front of you. The moon is shining above the roof of your house right now. It does not require you to understand its orbit, to bathe you in its light. It simply shines. Sleep is the same. It is a biological inevitability. It is not a project to be managed. It is a tide that comes in. When you stop looking at the finger, when you stop trying to figure out how to turn off your brain, you allow the gaze to drift upward into the vast, luminous emptiness where the moon actually lives. Shift your attention away from the concept of relaxation and move it into the direct sensation of the body. Concepts are the finger, sensations are the moon. Do not think, my arm is heavy. That is a sentence, that is a finger. Instead, feel the actual gravitational pull on the fibers of the tricep. Feel the density of the bone. This is the moon. This is reality. When you move from thinking to feeling, you move from the symbol to the source. The mind cannot argue with a sensation. It can only argue with a thought. By grounding yourself in the raw data of your own physical weight, you bypass the intellect. You step off the map and onto the land. The land is soft. The land is warm. It is ready to receive you. As the intellect quiets, we encounter the next layer of resistance. In the Pali Canon, the ancient texts of the Theravada tradition, the Buddha describes the human mind as kapicitta. This translates literally to monkey mind. Imagine a forest canopy filled with monkeys. They are never still. They swing from branch to branch. They chatter. They screech. They grab a fruit, take one bite, drop it, and grab another. They are driven by a frantic, endless energy. They are looking for safety, for food, for stimulation. This is the biological state of your brain during the day. It is designed to be a monkey. It scans for threats. It solves problems. It jumps from the branch of work to the branch of family to the branch of finance. This is not a defect. It is a survival mechanism. But at night, the monkey becomes a liability. You are lying in bed, but the monkey is still swinging. It grabs a thought about a conversation you had 5 years ago. It shrieks about a deadline next week. It is exhausted, but it does not know how to stop moving. Most people try to fight the monkey. They scream at it, "Shut up! Stop thinking! Go to sleep!" But you cannot fight a monkey with aggression. The more you yell, the louder it screeches. It thinks there is a threat, so it swings faster. The ancient masters knew you cannot suppress the mind. You can only give it a job that is too boring for the monkey to maintain its energy. You must give the monkey a task. The task must be repetitive, simple, and rhythmic. The task is the breath. Imagine you are handing the monkey a single smooth stone. You tell the monkey, your only job is to watch this stone move up and down. The stone is your diaphragm. Inhale. The stone goes up. Exhale. The stone goes down. The monkey watches. At first, it is restless. It looks around for other branches, but you gently bring its attention back. Just the stone, up and down. The monkey waits for something exciting to happen, but nothing does. The rhythm is hypnotic, up and down, up and down. Slowly, the monkey gets bored. Its grip on the branches loosens. Its eyes get heavy. The adrenaline that fuels its movement begins to drain away. It sits down on the branch. Then it lies down. The chatter stops. The forest becomes quiet. You are not forcing the mind to stop. You are simply boring it into submission. You are starving the chaos of its interest. Focus on the navel. This is the center of the movement. It is the engine of the breath. Watch it rise. Watch it fall. Do not control it. Just watch it. If the monkey jumps up to grab a thought about tomorrow, do not be angry. Just gently take its hand and lead it back to the navel. Here is the stone. Watch it move. The repetition is a lullaby. The complexity of your life is replaced by the binary simplicity of the breath. In, out, rise, fall. The monkey is asleep. You are free. Now that the forest is quiet, we can look at what grows in the silence. In the murky waters of the ponds throughout Asia, a specific miracle occurs every morning. The lotus flower blooms. It is one of the most beautiful symbols in the East, representing absolute purity. Its petals are pristine, white or pink, untouched by the filth around it. But the biology of the lotus offers a deeper instruction for your rest tonight. The lotus cannot grow in marble. It cannot grow in clean sand. It cannot grow in sterile water. The lotus requires mud. It requires muck, decomposing leaves, dirt, and stagnation. It needs the chaos of the swamp to survive. The flower takes the nutrients from the mud, the very things that seem gross and discarded, and it metabolizes them. It transmutes the filth into beauty. It turns the mud into the flower. You often believe that you cannot sleep because you have too much going on. You think your life is too messy, too stressful, too muddy. You wait for a time when everything is perfect, when the water is clear, when the problems are solved, thinking that then you will find peace. But the teaching of the lotus is that the peace comes from the mud. The stress you felt today, that is fertilizer. The exhaustion in your muscles, that is soil. The conflict, the noise, the demands, they are the nutrients. You do not need to escape your life to find rest. You need to sink your roots deeper into it. Visualize yourself as the stem of the lotus. Your roots go down into the mattress, down into the dark, rich soil of the night. The darkness is full of energy. It is composting the events of the day. You do not need to clean the mud. You do not need to fix the problems right now. You simply need to draw the energy from them. Use the heaviness of the day to anchor you. The mud is heavy. It holds the stem in place. If there were no mud, the flower would float away and die. Your burdens are holding you in place. They are keeping you tethered to the earth so you can rest. Accept the mud. Accept the messiness of being human. It is not a barrier to your peace. It is the source of it. Feel the transformation happening in your chest. The anxiety is being pulled down into the roots, processed, and sent back up as calm. The more intense the day, the richer the soil. The darker the mud, the brighter the bloom. You are metabolizing the chaos. You are turning the lead of stress into the gold of sleep. The flower opens in the center of your heart, petal by petal, soft, white, and completely unstained by the world that created it. You are the alchemist of your own fatigue. In the Meiji era of Japan, there was a famous Zen master named Nan-in. One day, a university professor came to inquire about Zen. The professor was full of his own ideas, his own theories, his own academic achievements. He sat down and immediately began to talk. He explained what he knew, what he had read, what he believed. He talked and talked, filling the room with his intellect. Nan listened quietly. He began to serve tea. He poured the tea into the professor's cup. The cup filled to the brim. But Nan did not stop pouring. He kept tipping the kettle. The tea rose over the rim, spilled into the saucer, overflowed onto the table, and dripped onto the professor's robes. The professor watched this, stunned, until he could no longer restrain himself. "Stop. The cup is full. No more will go in." Nan set the kettle down gently. "Like this cup," he said, "you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup? You are lying in bed, but your cup is full. It is full of the conversations from the day. It is full of the news you read. It is full of your plans for the weekend. It is full of your identity, who you think you are, what you think you need to achieve. You are trying to pour the tea of sleep into a cup that is already brimming with awake. It is spilling over. It is creating a mess. To sleep, you must perform the act of kenchu, emptying. You must tip the cup. You must be willing to become nothing for the next 8 hours. The world tells you to be something. It tells you to be productive, to be smart, to be attractive, to be successful. Sleep requires you to be none of those things. Sleep requires you to be a void. Visualize the cup of your mind. See the liquid swirling inside it, dark, thick, full of sediment. This is your ego. This is your self. Now, slowly, in your imagination, tip the cup. Watch the liquid pour out. Watch the thoughts spill over the rim and drain away into the floor. Watch the identity drain away. The name you call yourself? Pour it out. The job title you hold? Pour it out. The history of your life? Pour it out. The cup becomes lighter. It becomes clean. It becomes white porcelain, empty and cool. It is ready to receive. Sleep is a fluid that can only enter an empty vessel. The more you hold on to who you are, the harder it is to let go. But when you become no one, when you become just a breathing body in a dark room, the sleep rushes in to fill the vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. Create the space and the rest will follow. You are empty now. You are hollow. You are light. There is nothing left to defend. There is nothing left to prove. You are just a shape waiting to be filled with the heavy, warm, golden tea of oblivion. As the vessel empties, we descend from the philosophical to the physiological. We look at the mechanism of vibration. For thousands of years, monks in the Himalayas have chanted the syllable Om. To the uninitiated, this seems like a religious ritual, but modern neuroscience reveals it is a biological hack. The sound Om causes a physical vibration in the throat and the chest. This vibration stimulates the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the superhighway of your parasympathetic nervous system. It is the cable that runs from your brainstem down to your heart, your lungs, and your stomach. It is the brake pedal of the human body. When you are stressed, you are in a sympathetic state. This is the fight or flight mode. Your brain waves are in beta, fast, jagged, reactive. You are vibrating at the frequency of survival. To sleep, you must shift into alpha and then theta. These are the slower, longer waves of healing and restoration. You do not need to chant out loud to access this. You can create the resonance internally. Imagine the sound of a great, deep bell ringing in the center of your chest. The sound is not heard with the ears. It is felt with the bones. It is a low, humming frequency. Om. Feel the vibration spreading from your sternum out to your shoulders. Feel it travel down your spine. This vibration is a command code to your nervous system. It tells the heart to slow down. It tells the blood pressure to drop. It tells the muscles to release their guard. It is the acoustic signal of safety. The monks chant to tune their bodies like instruments. You are tuning yourself now. You are lowering the pitch of your existence. You are moving from the high, screeching treble of the day to the low, rumbling bass of the night. The lower the frequency, the deeper the rest. Imagine every cell in your body is a small tuning fork. They have been vibrating fast all day. Now the master fork, the breath, strikes a low note. One by one, the cells entrain to this new rhythm. They slow down. The humming spreads. It is a physical sensation of warmth and heaviness. You are no longer a static solid. You are a wave. You are a slow, rolling ocean swell. The frequency of the room is dropping. The air itself seems to thicken and slow. You are syncing with the rotation of the Earth, which is the ultimate slow vibration. You are matching the speed of the planet. There is no rush here. The vagus nerve is activated. The rest and digest system is online. The biological machinery of sleep is spinning up, humming quietly in the background. You are being lowered, gear by gear, level by level, into the basement of your own consciousness. The sound of the silence is deafeningly peaceful. You are tuned. You are resonant. You are ready. In the south of France, among the rolling hills and the vineyards of the Dordogne Valley, there exists a community known as Plum Village. It was founded by the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. In this village, life moves at a different pace, governed by a different set of laws. The primary law is the law of stopping. Throughout the monastery, there are large, heavy brass bells. At random intervals throughout the day, perhaps during a meal, perhaps during a lecture, perhaps while people are working in the vegetable gardens, a monk will strike the bell. The sound is not a sharp clang. It is a deep, resonant wave of low-frequency sound that seems to roll across the hills like a physical force. The moment the sound touches the ears of the residents, a profound shift occurs. Every single person in the village stops. If they are walking, they freeze in mid-step. If they are speaking, they cut the sentence short. If they are chopping carrots, the knife hovers in the air. For the duration of the sound, all activity ceases, all momentum dies. They return entirely to their breathing. They return entirely to the body. This is the practice of the bell of mindfulness. In your life, you rarely stop. You pause, perhaps, but you do not stop. Even when you are sitting at a red light, your mind is racing toward the destination. Even when you are waiting in line, your thumbs are scrolling on a screen. You are always leaning forward into the next moment, the next task, the next obligation. You are perpetually falling forward. This forward momentum creates a kinetic energy in the nervous system that is difficult to arrest at night. You lie in bed, but the momentum continues. The body is horizontal, but the mind is still running at full speed, like a flywheel that continues to spin long after the engine is cut. Tonight, you are learning the art of the full stop. You are learning to hear the bell. The sound of my voice is the bell. The silence between these words is the resonance. It is the signal for you to freeze the internal machinery. There is nothing to do right now. There is nowhere to go. The destination has been reached. You are in the bed. This is the end point of the day. Visualize the village. See the people frozen in perfect stillness. They look like statues in a garden. They are not waiting impatiently for the bell to stop ringing so they can get back to work. They are drinking the sound. They are using the sound to wash away the stress of doing. In this stillness, the dust of the mind settles. The heart rate sinks with the fading vibration of the brass. Apply this stopping to your body now. We begin with the feet. Your feet have carried you all day. They have walked on pavement, pressed against pedals, supported your weight against gravity. They are always ready to move. Now ring the bell for your feet. Command them to stop. Feel the bones in the toes become heavy. Feel the arches collapse gently into the mattress. The potential for movement leaves them. They are no longer instruments of travel. They are simply weight. Move the bell to your hands. Your hands are the primary tools of your interaction with the world. They type, they grip, they carry, they gesture. They are the agents of your will. Ring the bell for your hands. Let the fingers curl naturally. Let the palms soften. The impulse to grasp is gone. The impulse to fix is gone. There is nothing within reach that needs your attention. The hands are empty. They are dormant. They are resting on the bed like two sleeping animals. Now, ring the bell for the mind. The mind believes it must keep spinning to keep you safe. It believes that if it stops planning, the world will fall apart. This is a lie. The world managed itself for billions of years before you were born, and it will manage itself while you sleep. You can resign from your position as general manager of the universe for the next 8 hours. Strike the bell. Let the vibration shatter the timeline. There is no tomorrow. There is no yesterday. There is only the resonance of the now. The silence that follows the bell is not empty. It is heavy. It is thick with presence. In Plum Village, when the bell fades, the people move again, but they move slower. They move with a quality of liquid grace. You are entering that phase now. The sharp, jerky movements of the day are gone. You are entering the fluid, slow-motion world of the subconscious. You have stopped. You have arrived. The vibration holds you in a suspended state of absolute heavy peace. This stillness brings us to the edge of the river. We travel back in time to the teachings of the Greek philosopher Heraclitus, who walked the same intellectual path as the Buddha. He stood by a river and made a declaration that changed the way we understand reality. He said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river and he is not the same man." This is the doctrine of impermanence, or anicca. It is the antidote to the suffering caused by holding on. You suffer because you try to freeze time. You want good moments to last forever. You want bad moments to never happen. You want to be the same person today that you were yesterday. But this is impossible. You are fighting the physics of the universe. Visualize a wide, slow-moving river. The water is dark and glossy. It moves with a relentless, powerful current. This river represents the flow of your thoughts, your emotions, and your biological life. You are standing on the bank of this river. The bank is grassy, cool, and solid. The bank represents your awareness. The awareness does not move. It watches. Most people try to stand in the river. They try to grab the water. They try to hold on to a specific thought, a specific feeling. I must remember this. I must solve this. But the water slips through their fingers. The more they try to hold it, the more exhausted they become. They are fighting the current, and the current always wins. Tonight, you step out of the river. You climb up onto the bank. You lie down in the soft grass. You watch the river flow by. Look at the water. There goes a thought about your job. It floats by like a fallen leaf. Do not grab it. Let it go downstream. It will be gone in a second. There goes a memory of an awkward conversation. It is just a piece of driftwood. Watch it spin in the eddy and then drift away. There goes a worry about money. It is a patch of foam on the surface. It bubbles up and then dissolves. You are not the water. You are the witness of the water. This distinction is the key to sleep. If you are in the river, you are wet, cold, and tossed around. If you are on the bank, you are dry, warm, and still. The river can be raging, but the bank remains untouched. Consider your own body. You think you are the same person who woke up this morning, but biologically, you are a river. In the time it has taken you to listen to these words, millions of cells in your body have died and been replaced. The lining of your stomach, the surface of your skin, the proteins in your eyes, they are all flowing, changing, refreshing. You are a process, not an object. This is a liberation. It means you do not have to carry the you of the day into the night. The person who was stressed at noon no longer exists. That version of you has flowed downstream. The person who made a mistake at 4 p.m. is gone. That water has passed. The version of you lying in bed right now is new. You are fresh water. You are unbound by the history of the last 12 hours. Let the river take the debris. You often treat your mind like a dam, trying to stop the flow, trying to hoard the thoughts. Break the dam. Let it all wash away. The river flows toward the ocean of sleep. The ocean is vast, dark, and silent. It consumes everything. The river empties into it and becomes still. Feel the sensation of flow in your own limbs. The blood is a river. The breath is a tide. You are fluid. The rigidity of your muscles is melting. You are no longer a stone trying to resist the water. You are becoming the water itself. You are drifting. The current is gentle now. It carries you away from the cities, away from the noise, toward the deep, open sea of unconsciousness. There is no effort required to float. Gravity and the current do all the work. You simply trust the direction of the flow. As you float, you recall the story of the two monks, Tanzan and Ekido. They were traveling together down a muddy road. Heavy rain was falling. The road was thick with sludge. They came to a crossing where a beautiful young woman in a silk kimono was unable to pass because of the mud. She was distressed, fearing her robes would be ruined. Without a word, Tanzan stepped forward. He picked the woman up in his arms, carried her across the mud, and set her down gently on the dry side. The woman bowed and left. The two monks continued their journey in silence. Hours passed. The rain stopped. The sun began to set, but the air between the monks was tense. Finally, Ekido could not stay silent any longer. He turned to Tanzan and said, "We are monks. We are not supposed to touch women, especially young and beautiful ones. It is against our vows. Why did you do that?" Tanzan stopped walking. He looked at Ekido with a smile and said, "Brother, I set that woman down on the other side of the road hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" This story is the diagnosis of your insomnia. You are Ekido. You are carrying things that happened hours ago, days ago, even years ago. You are carrying the weight of invisible people, invisible conversations, invisible slights. You are hiking up the mountain of sleep carrying a backpack full of rocks. What stones are you carrying tonight? Look at them. Perhaps there is a stone called resentment. Someone treated you poorly. You are replaying the scene. You are rewriting the script of what you should have said. You are carrying them. Feel the weight of that person on your back. They are heavy. They are crushing your spine. And the irony is, they are not there. They are at home, asleep, or watching TV. They are not thinking about you, but you are carrying them. Perhaps there is a stone called guilt. You made a mistake. You ate something you shouldn't have. You spent money you shouldn't have. You are carrying the mistake. It is a sharp, jagged stone. It cuts into your shoulders. Tanzan teaches us the art of setting it down. The act was done. The crossing was made. The event is over. The mud has dried. The woman is gone. The only place the event exists is in your mind. Visualize a bedside table next to you. It is a strong wooden table. It can hold any weight. Now, mentally take the backpack off your shoulders. Feel the relief as the straps slide off. Open the bag. Take out the stone of resentment. Look at it. It is just a rock. It is dead weight. Place it on the table. Hear the sound, thud, as you set it down. Take out the stone of guilt. Place it on the table, thud. Take out the stone of tomorrow's to-do list. That is a very heavy stone. You think you need to hold it all night so you don't forget it. You don't. The table will hold it for you. It will be there in the morning. You do not need to sleep with it in your arms. Place it on the table, thud. Feel your body now. You are light. You are buoyant. For the first time all day, you are carrying nothing. You have put the woman down. You have put the world down. You are walking the path alone, unburdened. The muscles in your lower back release their tension. The muscles in your neck lengthen. They were braced against a weight that is no longer there. You are free to rest. The contract of the day is fulfilled. You have permission to be empty. You have permission to be light. The journey continues, but for now, the walking stops. You are lighter than air. You are rising gently, floating above the road, floating above the mud. As you rise, you enter the domain of the blue sky. This is the ultimate metaphor for the nature of the mind in the Tibetan tradition. The mind is like the sky. It is vast, infinite, and inherently clear. The thoughts, the emotions, the pain, these are just clouds passing through the sky. Sometimes the clouds are white and fluffy. These are happy thoughts. Sometimes the clouds are dark and heavy, full of thunder and lightning. These are angry or fearful thoughts. Sometimes the clouds are a thick, gray blanket that covers everything, blocking out the sun. This is depression or exhaustion. But here is the meteorological truth. The clouds are not the sky. The clouds happen to the sky, and no matter how severe the storm is, the storm never damages the sky. The lightning cannot burn the sky. The wind cannot tear the sky. The rain cannot wet the sky. The sky contains the weather, but it is not the weather. Behind the thickest, darkest storm front you have ever seen, the blue sky is still there. It has not gone away. It has not changed. It is simply obscured. If you get in an airplane and fly through the storm, you eventually break through the top layer of clouds. And there, every single time, without exception, is the sun and the vast, silent blue. You are usually the weatherman. You stand on the ground, looking up, obsessed with the clouds. Oh no, a dark cloud is coming. I hate this rain. When will it clear up? You identify with the weather. You think your value depends on whether it is sunny or stormy in your head. Tonight, you change your altitude. You stop being the person on the ground. You become the sky itself. Expand your awareness. Feel the edges of your mind stretching out. You are not the small, constricted space of your worries. You are the vast, open space in which the worries float. You are the container. Notice a thought drifting by. Maybe it is a dark cloud. Do not try to blow it away. Do not try to fix it. You are the sky. You are huge. The cloud is tiny compared to you. Let it float. It has plenty of room. The sky does not resist the clouds. It allows them to pass. And because it allows them to pass, they do not get stuck. Feel the quality of blueness. This is a feeling of cool, detached clarity. It is the feeling of deep space. Your head is not a cramped room full of noise. It is an infinite dome. There are no walls. There is no ceiling. The silence of the stratosphere wraps around you. Up here, the air is thin and pure. The noise of the earth cannot reach this height. The storms of your life, the arguments, the bills, the deadlines, are happening far below, down near the surface. They are tiny disturbances. You are miles above them. You are resting in the eternal background. The blue sky has no beginning and no end. It was here before you were born, and it will be here after you die. It is the permanent part of you, the witness, the observer. Resting in the blue sky is resting in your true nature. You feel a sense of massive expansion. The tightness in the forehead dissolves because there are no boundaries to push against. The eyes soften because there is nothing to focus on, just endless blue. The breath becomes the wind, moving effortlessly through the open space. You are vast. You are untouched. You are the sky. And in the sky, there is only peace. In the foothills of the Himalayas, in the holy city of Rishikesh, the Ganges River flows with a glacial coldness, turning from blue to green as it winds through the valley. Here in the ashrams that line the riverbanks, thousands of seekers engage in a practice known as mauna. This translates as noble silence. It is not merely a rule against speaking. It is a profound surgical intervention on the human ego. For days, weeks, or sometimes years, these practitioners do not utter a single word. They carry small chalkboards, but they rarely use them. They move through the world like ghosts, observing, eating, walking, but never projecting their voice into the space. The ancient rishis understood something about human biology that modern science is only beginning to map. Speech is an expulsion of energy. When you speak, you are pushing your life force out into the world. You are defining yourself. You are defending yourself. You are explaining yourself. Every sentence requires a complex coordination of the lungs, the vocal cords, the tongue, and the brain. It is a high-calorie activity. But more than that, speech solidifies the illusion of separation. When I speak to you, I create a me and a you. I create a distance that must be bridged by words. But the noise you struggle with tonight is not the noise of your mouth. It is the noise of your internal monologue. You are practicing a perverse form of anti-mauna. You are lying in a silent room, yet you are shouting at yourself. You are rehearsing arguments. You are explaining your actions to an imaginary jury. You are narrating your own life as if you were the main character in a documentary. First I did this, then I felt that, then they said this. This internal chatter is a leakage. It is draining the battery of your nervous system, just as surely as if you were running a marathon. Tonight, we initiate the practice of noble silence inside the skull. This is different from suppressing thoughts. It is the active enjoyment of the space between the thoughts. Imagine you are in a great cathedral. The architecture is vast and stone. When you stop talking, you become aware of the silence of the building. The silence has a texture. It is thick. It is velvety. It has a weight to it. It presses against your skin. In the ashram, when a monk enters Mauna, he discovers that his other senses become supernatural. Because the energy is not leaving through the mouth, it recirculates into the eyes and ears. He sees the veins on a leaf with microscopic clarity. He hears the sound of a bird 3 miles away. You are redirecting your energy now. You are sealing the leak. Close the mouth of the mind. Visualize a heavy oak door at the back of your throat. It has iron hinges. It has a thick iron bolt. Swing the door shut. Hear the heavy thud as it closes. Slide the bolt into place. The mechanism of speech is locked. You are no longer required to comment on your experience. You are no longer required to have an opinion on whether the bed is comfortable or the room is too warm. You simply exist. Without the constant narration, the self begins to relax. The narrator is the part of you that stays awake. The narrator is the one who says, "I am trying to sleep." When you silence the narrator, there is no one left to try. There is just the sleeping. Feel the silence spreading down from your brain into your jaw. The jaw is the physical storage locker for unsaid words. Clenched teeth are suppressed arguments. Tension in the lips is held back cries. Let the jaw unhinge. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. The tongue is a muscle. Let it go limp like a wet towel. When the tongue is totally relaxed, it is physiologically impossible to form internal sentences. The monologue breaks down into incoherent syllables and then into pure sound, and then into nothing. You are entering the great silence. It is a silence that existed before language was invented. It is the silence of the womb. It is the silence of deep space. It is a silence that does not wait for an answer. You are safe here. You do not need to explain yourself to the night. The night understands you perfectly without a single word. As the internal noise subsides, you are left with a raw, unformed state of awareness. This brings us to the concept of Shoshin, a fundamental tenet of Zen Buddhism. It translates to beginner's mind. There was a famous Zen master named Shunryu Suzuki who brought this teaching to the West. He said, "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few." Consider the expert. The expert knows everything. He knows the rules. He knows the limits. He knows how things should be. The expert is rigid. If the expert tries to sleep and fails, he gets frustrated because his method isn't working. He analyzes the failure. He judges himself. He thinks, I know I should be asleep by now. I know I need 8 hours. I know the consequences of fatigue. The expert is full of knowledge, and that knowledge is a cage. Now consider the beginner. Consider a child. A child does not know the theory of sleep. A child does not know about REM cycles or circadian rhythms. A child does not worry about being tired tomorrow. The child simply plays until the energy is gone, and then, without any ceremony, the child collapses. The child falls asleep mid-sentence, mid-meal, mid-play. The child has no method. The child has no expectation. The child is empty. Tonight, you must strip away your expertise. You have become an expert at being you. You know exactly what your problems are. You have labeled your anxiety. You have categorized your insomnia. You have built a complex identity around your struggle. I am a light sleeper. I am a night owl. I have a racing mind. These are the statements of an expert. They are walls you have built. Drop the expertise. Forget everything you know about yourself. Forget your name. Forget your history. Forget your medical diagnosis. Enter this night as a complete novice. You have never slept before. You have never been awake before. You are encountering this bed for the first time. Touch the sheets with Shoshin. Feel the texture as if you are an alien who has just arrived on Earth and has never felt cotton. It is strange and soft. Feel the pillow. What is this object? It is yielding. It is cool. Do not label it pillow. Experience it as raw sensation. When you drop the label, you drop the baggage associated with the label. If you call it my bed, it carries the memory of all the nights you couldn't sleep there. If you see it simply as a white rectangle of softness, it is new. It is innocent. You are unlearning the habit of struggle. The expert struggles because he thinks there is a right way and a wrong way. The beginner just is. Embrace the confusion. If you don't know how to sleep, that is good. It means you are not trying to force a result. You are exploring the darkness with curiosity instead of fear. Imagine your mind is a piece of white rice paper. The expert's paper is covered in black ink. Notes, scribbles, corrections, theories. There is no room for anything new. The beginner's paper is pristine. It is blank. Tonight, you are the blank paper. You are ready to receive the ink of dreams. You are not bringing yesterday's scribbles into tonight. Strip off the uniform of the adult. The adult has to control things. The beginner allows things to happen. You cannot control sleep. You can only surrender to it. The beginner is good at surrendering because the beginner knows they are not in charge. You are not in charge of your heart rate. You are not in charge of your digestion. You are not in charge of the sun rising. Why do you think you need to be in charge of your consciousness? Resign. Retire. Be the child who falls backward, trusting that the ground will catch him. The bed will catch you. It has never dropped you. Now that we have silenced the voice and erased the expertise, we approach the most terrifying and most liberating concept in Eastern philosophy, anatta, or no self. In the 19th century, the mystic Ramakrishna used a powerful parable to explain this. He told the story of a doll made of salt. The salt doll lived on the land. It had a shape. It had a name. It had a distinct form that separated it from everything else. It was hard, brittle, and defined. One day, the salt doll wanted to know how deep the ocean was. It walked to the edge of the sea. It looked at the vast blue water. The water was mysterious. The doll stepped in. The moment its foot touched the water, the salt began to dissolve. The foot disappeared. It was no longer a foot. It was now part of the ocean. The doll kept walking. The water rose to its knees. The knees dissolved. It walked deeper. The waist dissolved, the chest dissolved. Finally, as the water reached its mouth, the last bit of the doll disappeared. It never found out how deep the ocean was, because the moment it tried to measure the ocean, it became the ocean. You are the salt doll. The you that you are clinging to, the personality, the ego, the thinker, is made of salt. It is a crystallized structure. It feels hard and separate. You are standing on the beach of the night. Sleep is the ocean. You are afraid to sleep because sleep is a little death. To sleep, the I must disappear. The manager must clock out. The controller must dissolve. You are standing at the water's edge, dipping your toe in but pulling back. You are afraid of losing your shape. You are afraid that if you let go, you will cease to exist. But the teaching of the salt doll is that you do not cease to exist. You expand. The salt does not vanish, it becomes the sea. It trades the limitation of the doll for the infinity of the ocean. Walk into the water now. Feel the tides of sleep washing over your feet. The boundaries of your skin are softening. Where does the body end and the mattress begin? It is hard to tell. The line is blurring. This is the salt dissolving. Let the water rise to your hips. The tension in the legs melts away into the liquid dark. You are losing the definition of your lower body. It is just a warm heaviness now. Let the water rise to your chest. The armor of your ribcage, which protects your heart all day, softens. The heart beats slower, matching the rhythm of the tide. The emotions you held in your chest, the anxiety, the excitement, are washed out. They dilute into the infinite volume of the sea. Now the water rises to the head. This is the final surrender. The face relaxes. The mask you wear for the world dissolves. The I is gone. There is no one left to have a problem. There is no one left to be awake. There is only the ocean, vast, deep, dark, salty, buoyant. You are floating in the womb of the universe. You are everywhere and nowhere. The relief of this is absolute. You do not have to be a person for a while. You do not have to maintain a shape. You are free to be formless. You are free to be water. In this formless state, you need a single point of connection to keep you from drifting into chaos. You need a tether. The Buddha gave very specific instructions for this in the Anapanasati Sutta, the discourse on mindfulness of breathing. He did not tell his monks to imagine lights or chant mantras. He told them to find the breath. Imagine a ship in the middle of a storm. The waves are high. The wind is howling. The ship is being tossed up and down. If the ship is untethered, it will be smashed against the rocks. It needs an anchor. The anchor goes down through the turbulence, through the dark water, all the way to the seabed. It hooks into the solid rock of the earth. The ship still moves. It still rocks with the waves. But it does not drift. It is held. Your mind is the ship. The thoughts are the waves. The breath is the anchor. You do not need to stop the waves. You cannot stop the waves. The ocean of the mind will always have movement, but you can drop the anchor. Find the anchor point in your body. For some, it is the tip of the nose, where the air feels cool coming in and warm going out. For others, it is the rise and fall of the belly. Find that spot now. This is your connection to the seabed. The chain of the anchor is the rhythm. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. It is a chain that has never broken. From the moment you were born, this chain has been holding you. Through every trauma, every joy, every sleep, every waking moment, the breath has been there. It is the most reliable thing in your life. It is the only thing that has been with you every second of your existence. Trust the chain. It is strong. When a wave of anxiety hits the ship, do not run to the deck and scream at the wind. Check the chain. Is the breath still there? Yes. In, out. Then you are safe. The ship will rock, but it will not break. There is a profound physiological safety in the exhale. The inhale is active, the exhale is passive. The inhale is tension, the exhale is release. The inhale is life, the exhale is a tiny death, a tiny letting go. Focus on the bottom of the exhale. There is a small pause there, a gap. Before the body decides to breathe in again, there is a microsecond of absolute stillness. The ship hangs motionless between the waves. Rest in that gap. That gap is the doorway to sleep. It is the moment where the biology resets. Every time you breathe out, you are practicing dying to the moment. You are practicing the dissolution of the salt doll. Lengthen the chain, make the exhale longer. 1, 2, 3, 4. The anchor goes deeper into the sand. The ship settles. The storm above may still be raging, but down here where the anchor holds, the water is calm. You are tethered to life, but you are free from the struggle. You are the ship, but you are also the anchor. You are the heavy iron resting on the floor of the ocean. Nothing moves you. You are connected to the core of the world. The breathing breathes itself. You are not doing it. It is happening to you. You are being breathed by the universe. You are being held by the chain. You are secure. You are drifting, but you are not lost. In the high mountains of Tibet, where the air is thin and the wind howls with the ferocity of a living beast, monks construct their hermitages from the very rock of the mountain itself. These are not houses, they are fortresses. They are built with walls 3 feet thick, made of rough-hewn granite, designed to withstand avalanches, storms, and freezing temperatures. Inside these walls, the environment is totally separated from the outside world. Outside, the wind screams at 80 miles per hour. Inside, a candle flame does not even flicker. Outside, the temperature is 30 degrees below zero. Inside, the air is still and retains the warmth of the body. This is the architectural principle of the fortress of solitude. You must understand that your mind requires a container. During the day, your mind is an open market. It has no walls. The noise of the street comes in. The demands of other people walk in and out like customers. The dust of the world blows through your mental living room. You feel exposed because you are exposed. You cannot sleep in an open field while wolves are prowling. You need walls. Tonight, you are the mason. You are building the internal sanctuary that will protect your sleep. You do not need physical bricks. You use the bricks of intention. Visualize the perimeter of your bed. This is the foundation. Now visualize the first course of stones being laid around this perimeter. These are heavy, gray, ancient stones. They are cold to the touch. They fit together perfectly without mortar, held in place by their own massive weight. Layer by layer, the walls rise. As they go up, the noise of the world is cut off. The bottom layer blocks out the noise of the street. The next layer blocks out the noise of the house. The next layer blocks out the noise of your phone. The walls are rising past your mattress, past your body, past your head. They are thick and impenetrable. No signal can pass through them. Wi-Fi cannot penetrate granite. The frequencies of stress cannot vibrate through this much mass. You are being enclosed in a chamber of absolute safety. This is not a prison. It is a womb of stone. It is the only place in the universe where you are untouchable. Feel the quality of the air inside the fortress change. It becomes still. It becomes dead silent. The chaotic energy that was swirling around you hits the outside of the walls and bounces off. It cannot find a way in. You are the castellan of this keep. You have pulled up the drawbridge. The mechanism is rusted shut. It will not open again until morning. There is no way for a problem to cross the moat. There is no way for a responsibility to knock on the door. You are utterly alone, but in the most beautiful, sovereign way. You are the king of a silent kingdom that consists of exactly one room. The space inside is small, cozy, and dark. The smaller the space, the easier it is to heat. Your body heat fills the room. Your presence fills the room. There is no vast emptiness to fear. There is only the solid, reassuring embrace of the stone. You can relax your vigilance. The sentries on the walls are stone. They do not sleep, so you can. You do not need to keep one eye open. The architecture does the guarding for you. Deep within the center of this fortress, the nature of light begins to change. We move from the construction of the walls to the ignition of the inner flame. In the yoga traditions of the Upanishads, there is a practice called pratyahara, which means the withdrawal of the senses. It is often described as a turtle pulling its limbs and head inside its shell. But a more potent metaphor is that of the lantern. Imagine an old-fashioned oil lantern. It has glass panels and a flame in the center. When you are awake, the light of your consciousness shines outward. It illuminates the world. It shines on your work, on your family, on the screens you watch. You are a lighthouse, constantly scanning the horizon, sweeping your beam across the dark waters of life. This requires fuel. You are burning oil to see the world. To sleep, you must not blow out the flame. If you try to extinguish the mind by force, it will smoke and sputter. Instead, you must turn the mechanism that shutters the glass. You are not putting the light out, you are turning the light in. Visualize the shutters closing over the lantern of your eyes. The eyelids are the physical shutters, but the optic nerve is the internal shutter. The beam of attention, which has been projecting outward all day, hits the back of the eyelids and reflects inward. The light turns around. Follow the light as it descends. It travels down from the eyes through the throat into the center of the chest. This is the cave of the heart. Here, the light does not illuminate objects. It creates warmth. It turns from a visual frequency into a thermal frequency. Feel a ball of warm, golden amber light glowing in your solar plexus. It is soft. It is steady. It is the pilot light of your soul. It does not flicker because there is no wind inside the fortress. This light is not for seeing. It is for being. It warms the blood as it passes through the chest. It warms the heavy muscles of the back. The external world goes dark. The room you are in disappears. The furniture disappears. The only thing that exists is this internal glow. It is a biological bioluminescence. You are like a deep-sea creature drifting in the pitch black, illuminated only by your own internal chemistry. This turning inward creates a profound sense of self-sufficiency. You do not need the outside world to define you right now. You do not need external light to feel safe. You carry the sun inside you. The darkness of the room is not an absence of light. It is a canvas for your internal warmth. The light moves lower now, into the belly. It becomes a heavy, molten sensation, like warm honey. It coats the nervous system. It soothes the endings of the nerves that have been frayed by the friction of the day. The lantern is burning efficiently, using almost no oil. It is in low power mode. You are preserving your essence. You are banking the fire for the night, letting the coals glow red and deep, rather than flaming high and bright. Now that the walls are built and the light is turned inward, we transform the body itself. We travel to Kyoto, Japan, to the temple of Ryoanji. Here lies the most famous Karasansui, or dry landscape garden in the world. It consists of 15 large stones set in a sea of raked white gravel. There are no trees. There is no water. There is no grass. There is only stone and sand. The garden is a masterpiece of stillness. A tree changes, it grows, leaves fall, it sways in the wind. A stone does not change. A stone does not grow. A stone does not sway. It sits. It has sat for 1,000 years, and it will sit for 1,000 more. It is the ultimate symbol of non-action. Tonight, you are becoming the garden. Your body is losing its biological urgency and taking on the geological patience of rock. Start with the head. It is a large, weathered boulder. It is heavy. It has sunk deep into the sand of the pillow. It is not holding itself up. If you were to try to lift a boulder, it would resist. It is dead weight. Let your head become that weight. It is ancient granite, moss-covered and cool. It contains no movement. Move to the shoulders. These are two large, flat stones set firmly in the earth. They have carried the weight of the sky all day, but now they are resting. A stone does not carry tension. A stone does not hold stress. It is simply mass. Feel the molecular structure of your trapezius muscles calcifying. They are turning from tight, fibrous meat into solid, relaxed mineral. They sink into the mattress. The spine is a chain of pebbles arranged in a perfect curve. They are settling into the sand. The hips are the anchor stones, massive and broad. They ground the entire arrangement. They are so heavy that they are making an indentation in the earth. They are the center of gravity. The bed is the raked sand. It holds the stones in place. The patterns in the sand swirl around you, concentric circles of silence. In a rock garden, nothing moves. There is no growth to manage. There is no weeding to do. It is a frozen moment of perfection. You are entering geologic time. Human time is measured in seconds and minutes. Stone time is measured in eras. To a stone, an 8-hour sleep is nothing. It is the blink of an eye. You are slowing your internal clock to match the frequency of the rock. The heart beats slow like the ticking of a grandfather clock in an empty hall. The breath is slow like the erosion of a mountain. You are statuesque. If someone were to walk into the room, they would think you were carved from marble. You are so still that the air in the room settles around you like dust. You are a monument to rest. You are a fixture of the earth. The immovability of the stone protects you. Nothing can push a boulder. Nothing can disturb a rock. You are heavy, hard, and absolutely at peace. From the heaviness of the stone, we transition to the final surrender. We return to the water, but not to watch it. We return to join it. We go back to the teaching of the river, but now we apply the lesson of Ishvara Pranidhana, the practice of surrender to a higher force. You have been standing on the shore. You have been building walls. You have been turning to stone. These were all preparations. Now the tide rises. The water comes up to the rock garden. It floods the fortress. It lifts the stones. This is the paradox of sleep. To be heavy as a rock, yet buoyant as a piece of driftwood, you are floating on your back in a vast, dark underground river. The current is slow and strong. It is moving towards a destination you do not need to know. Your ears are submerged. The sound of the water muffles the world. It is a white noise, a womb sound, a hush. The shore is the waking world. It is the land of doing. You have spent 16 hours gripping the shore. You have been holding onto the roots of the trees, holding onto the rocks, fighting the current to stay dry, to stay in control, to stay awake. Your fingers are tired. Your arms are cramping from the effort of holding on. Let go of the root. This is the hardest part. The ego screams, "If I let go, I will be swept away. I will drown." But you will not drown. You are naturally buoyant. The water of sleep is salt water. It holds you up. Uncurl the fingers. One by one, the index finger releases the deadline. The middle finger releases the argument. The thumb releases the control. The hand opens. The current catches you. Feel the sensation of the initial drift. You are moving away from the bank. The familiar shapes of your life, the house, the job, the identity, are receding into the distance. They are getting smaller. You are moving into the center of the stream. Look up. Above you is the void of the cavern, dark and infinite. You are not looking where you are going. You are floating feet first. You cannot see the future. This is the ultimate act of trust. You trust the river. You trust that it knows where to go. You do not need to swim. Swimming is trying. Sleeping is floating. If you paddle, you wake up. If you kick, you wake up. You must be absolutely limp. Let the water take the weight of your legs. Let the water take the weight of your spine. You are a passenger. The ticket has been paid. The destination is assured. The river flows down, always down, towards the deep ocean of delta sleep. You can feel the gradient. You are sliding gently down the slope of consciousness. The fear of the current evaporates because you realize the current is on your side. It wants to take you to rest. It is a benevolent force. It is the same force that rotates the planets and moves the tides. It is much stronger than you. Why fight it? The shore is gone now. It is just a memory. You are alone in the dark water, held by the silence. It is cool, silky, and rhythmic. You are drifting past the conscious mind, drifting past the dreams, drifting towards the black velvet curtain of the deep. You have let go. You are loose. You are free. The water has you. You are gone. Claude Debussy, the great French composer, once whispered a secret about the nature of his art. He said, "The music is not in the notes, but in the silence between them. If you play every note on a piano simultaneously, you do not have music, you have noise, you have chaos. It is the pause, the rest, the empty space that gives the note its shape, its meaning, and its beauty. Without the silence, the melody cannot exist. Your mind, for most of the day, has been a piano player who refuses to lift his hands from the keys. You have been striking note after note, thought after thought, without a single beat of rest. A worry about money, strike. A memory of lunch, strike. A plan for the weekend, strike. The constant hammering of the keys creates a wall of sound that you call consciousness. You are exhausted not because the music is difficult, but because there is no space in it. You are drowning in the cacophony of your own unbroken mental noise. Tonight, we do not try to stop the music. That is impossible. The brain is an instrument designed to play. Instead, we shift our attention from the notes to the gaps. We look for the ma. This is the Japanese concept of negative space. In a traditional ink painting, the empty white space on the paper is just as important as the black ink of the mountain or the bamboo. The emptiness is not a lack of something. It is an active element of the composition. It represents the infinite potential from which the form emerges. Look closely at the stream of your thoughts in the dark. They are not a solid wall. There is a thought. I need to fix the car. Then, before the next thought arrives, I forgot to call my mother. There is a tiny microscopic fracture in the timeline. There is a split second where the first thought has died, but the second thought has not yet been born. This is the gap. It is usually so fast that you miss it. It is a flicker of blankness, but it is there. It is always there. It is the background of the universe. It is the silence of Debussy. Your task now is to find that gap and fall into it. Do not look at the thoughts. They are just the black ink. Look at the white paper behind them. When a sentence in your head ends, do not rush to start the next one. Linger at the period. Hover in the blank space after the punctuation. It is a space of cool, neutral nothingness. Imagine you are reading a book. The words are black, but the page is white. You have spent your whole life reading the black words, obsessing over the story. Now soften your eyes. Stop reading the text. Look at the white margins. Look at the space between the paragraphs. The white paper is peaceful. It has no story. It has no conflict. It has no characters. It just holds the words. You are the white paper. You are the silent background. The thoughts are just scribbles on your surface. They do not change you. They do not damage you. Focus on that tiny moment of silence at the end of your exhale. We found this anchor earlier, but now we explore its depth. Breathe out. The air leaves. The lungs are empty. Before the reflex to inhale triggers, there is a pause. In that pause, you are legally dead. You are not breathing. You are not thinking. You are suspended in the void. It feels like a small, dark room. Step into that room. Look around. It is empty. There is no furniture. There are no clocks. There is just a velvet quiet. At first, you can only stay there for a second. The body panics and inhales, pulling you back into the world of doing. But with the next breath, the gap widens. Breathe out. Wait. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. The gap is getting longer. The silence is stretching. The notes on the piano are moving further apart. Instead of a frantic allegro, the rhythm is slowing to a largo. Dong. Silence. 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 Dong. In that expanded silence, the brain begins to heal. The neurons stop firing in their habitual loops. The chemical bath of the brain changes from the cortisol of stress to the serotonin of peace. You are widening the cracks in the wall of noise, letting the light of sleep shine through. You realize that the thoughts are not the reality. The thoughts are the interruption. The silence is the reality. The silence was there before you were born, and it will be there after you die. It is the fundamental state of existence. The noise is just a temporary vibration. By focusing on the space between thoughts, you make the thoughts themselves transparent. They lose their density. They become ghost-like. You can see through them. You see that they are thin, flimsy things, powered only by your attention. When you withdraw your attention and place it in the gap, the thoughts starve. They fade out. The gap is not empty. It is full of rest. It is a rich, nourishing darkness. It is the soil in which the seed of sleep is planted. Expand the gap. Push the walls of the silence outward. Make the room bigger. Eventually, the gap becomes so wide that the next thought never arrives. You wait for it, but it doesn't come. There is only the gap. There is only the silence. You have fallen through the crack in the world and landed in the soft, soundless cotton of the deep. In the beginning, according to the Vedic texts, there was sound. Nada Brahma, the world is sound. Before there was matter, before there was light, there was vibration. Modern physics agrees with this ancient intuition. Everything in the universe, from the atoms in your eyelashes to the stars in the Andromeda galaxy, is vibrating. Nothing is truly solid. Everything is energy moving at different frequencies. When you are awake and stressed, your personal vibration is dissonant. You are out of tune. You are vibrating with the jagged, chaotic frequency of the city, of the machine, of the clock. This dissonance creates tension in the physical structure of the body. Your muscles hold tight because they are humming with the noise of anxiety. But underneath that noise, there is a deeper, older vibration. It is the fundamental note of the universe. It is the Om. It is the background hum of existence. It is the sound of the rotation of the earth. It is the sound of the blood rushing through your veins. Tonight, we tune the instrument of the body back to this universal hum. We stop playing the frantic jazz of the ego, and we tune into the drone of the soul. Lie very still, so still that you can feel the pulse in your fingertips, so still that you can hear the high-pitched hiss of silence in your ears. That hiss is not a defect of your hearing. It is the sound of your own nervous system operating. It is the sound of life itself. Imagine a large, heavy Tibetan singing bowl placed on your chest. A mallet strikes it gently. Dong. The sound is not just audible. It is tactile. You feel the sound wave penetrate the sternum, travel through the ribs, and vibrate the spine. It is a low, warm, golden vibration. This vibration acts like a massage for your cells. It shakes loose the tightness. It shakes loose the rigid thoughts. It harmonizes the water in your body. You are 70% water. Sound travels 4 times faster through water than through air. You are a perfect conductor for this lullaby. Feel the hum in your legs. It is a heavy, magnetic sensation. It feels like gravity is pulling you harder than usual. The atoms in your bones are slowing down. They are syncing with the slow frequency of the mattress, which is synced with the floor, which is synced with the bedrock. You are entering a state of entrainment. Entrainment is a law of physics, where two vibrating bodies will eventually lock into step with each other. The stronger vibration will always pull the weaker vibration into its rhythm. The earth is the strongest vibration. It is massive, slow, and constant. Your body is the weaker vibration. Surrender to the pull. Stop trying to maintain your own tempo. Let your heart rate slow down to match the beat of the planet. Let your breathing slow down to match the wind outside. There is a comforting sound, a white noise, that protects you. Perhaps it is the whir of a fan, or the distant hum of traffic, or the sound of rain. Do not be annoyed by these sounds. They are the blanket of sound. They wrap you up. They create a sonic wall that blocks out the sudden, sharp noises that might startle you. This continuous hum is the Om without the chant. It is the Amen without the prayer. It is the sonic expression of safety. When a mother holds a baby, she says, shh. This shh sound mimics the sound of blood rushing through the placenta. It is the sound the baby heard in the womb. It triggers an instinctual biological relaxation response. The universe is saying shh to you right now. The darkness is hushing you. Hush now, the day is over. The work is done. There is nothing to say. Feel the vibration in your jaw. Let the teeth part slightly. The jawbone acts as a conductor for stress. When you release it, you cut the wire. The signal stops. The hum moves up into the skull. It massages the brain from the inside. It smooths out the wrinkles in the gray matter. You are becoming a wave. You are no longer a particle. You are a frequency. You are drifting on a sea of sound. The vibration is warm. It buzzes softly in the solar plexus. It feels like a purring cat resting on your chest. It is a vibration of pure contentment. The universal hum is the carrier wave of sleep. It transports you from the shores of wakefulness to the continent of dreams. You do not need to steer. You just need to vibrate. You just need to hum. Resonate with the bed. Feel where your body touches the fabric. The line between your skin and the cloth is blurring. The atoms are trading places. You are melting into the environment. You are losing your definition. You are becoming part of the song of the night. A low, slow, endless song that has no lyrics, only peace. The ultimate goal of the Buddhist path is often translated as enlightenment, but a more accurate translation of the word nirvana is extinction. This sounds frightening to the Western mind, which is obsessed with survival and legacy. But in the context of sleep, extinction is the greatest gift imaginable. Think of a candle burning in a dark room. The flame is beautiful, but it consumes. It eats the wax. It burns the wick. It requires constant fuel. The flame represents your waking consciousness. It represents your ego, your desires, your fears, your constant need to be someone. As long as the flame is burning, there is heat. There is movement. There is the casting of shadows on the wall. The shadows are your anxieties. The taller the flame, the darker the shadows. You spend your whole day feeding this flame. You feed it with coffee. You feed it with information. You feed it with problems. You protect it from the wind. You are exhausted from the effort of keeping this fire alive. Sleep is the moment you allow the flame to go out. Nirvana is the blowing out of the candle. It is the moment the wick stops burning. Visualize the candle of your mind. It has been burning hot for 16 hours. The wax is pooled at the bottom. The wick is charred. It is tired. It wants to rest. Watch the flame. It is flickering. It is getting smaller. It turns from a bright, sharp yellow to a soft, warm orange, then to a deep, low blue. It is losing its height. It is crouching down towards the wax. You do not need to be afraid of the dark. The dark is the natural state of the room. The flame was an interruption. When the light goes out, the room returns to itself. Gently, without force, imagine a soft breath blowing on the candle. Poof! The flame vanishes. Watch the thin trail of gray smoke rising from the wick. It curls up into the darkness and disappears. The heat dissipates. The wax begins to cool and harden. This is the final surrender. It is the surrender of the need to exist as a separate entity. When the flame goes out, where does the fire go? It does not go anywhere. It simply ceases to be. It returns to the potential energy of the universe. You are blowing out the I. I am worried. Blow it out. I am tired. Blow it out. I am. Blow it out. There is no I left. There is only the body breathing automatically, regulated by the brainstem, safe and warm. The personality has left the building. The sentry has left the post. The castle is empty. This is the little death that the mystics speak of. Every night you practice dying so that you can be reborn in the morning. If you do not die to the day, you cannot be born to the new one. You will drag the corpse of yesterday into tomorrow. You must let the day die completely. Let the darkness rush in to fill the space where the light was. The darkness is cool water. It soothes the burns left by the fire. It fills your eyes, your ears, your mouth. It is a velvet blindfold. You are no longer a point of light in the universe. You are the universe itself. You are the black space between the stars. You are infinite. You are without borders. There is a tremendous relief in this extinction. You do not have to hold it together anymore. You do not have to make sense anymore. You do not have to be consistent. You can dissolve. Feel the boundaries of your body disintegrating. You are mist. You are smoke. You are drifting. There is no center to you anymore. The gravity that held you together has been turned off. You are expanding in all directions, getting thinner and thinner, until you are indistinguishable from the night air. The struggle is over. The war is over. The soldier has laid down his sword and walked into the forest. There is nothing left to defend. There is nothing left to conquer. There is only the peace of non-existence, the sweet, heavy, blank peace of the extinguished flame. Rest in the smoke. Rest in the cooling wax. Rest in the dark. We return now to where we began. The circle is closing. The journey is complete. We travel back through the mist of time, back to the year 1963, back to the intersection in Saigon. The fire has burned out. The ashes have cooled. The monk, Thich Quang Duc, has left his body, but the silence he created remains. It hangs over the city like a bell jar. The soldiers are gone. The cars are gone. The war is a distant memory. We travel back further, to the year 528 BCE, to the banks of the Naranjara River, to the Bodhi tree. The storm of Mara has passed. The armies of doubt have fled. The demons of anxiety have dissolved into the mist. The night is at its deepest point. It is the hour before dawn, the hour of the wolf. But there are no wolves here. The man sitting under the tree is no longer Siddhartha. He is no longer a prince. He is no longer a seeker. He has become the Buddha, the awakened one. But before he wakes up to the world, he rests in the absolute perfection of his realization. He sits in the center of the universe. One hand touches the earth. The other rests in his lap. He is the eye of the storm. The world spins around him. Galaxies turn. Empires rise and fall. Seasons change. But he does not move. He has found the still point. You are that man. You are sitting under the tree. The mattress is your roots. The blanket is your robe. The darkness of the room is the canopy of leaves above you. You have built the fortress. You have turned the light inward. You have silenced the monkey. You have emptied the boat. You have blown out the candle. You have done the work. Now you reap the reward. The reward is not a vision. The reward is not a feeling of ecstasy. The reward is simply this: silence. Absolute, impenetrable, heavy silence. The narrative of your life has paused. The book is closed. You are safely tucked between the chapters. You realize now that the peace you were looking for was not something you had to find. It was something you had to uncover. It was always there, buried under the noise, under the stress, under the doing. You have dug down through the layers of the day and found the bedrock. You are the stone in the garden. You are the water in the river. You are the space in the sky. The dawn will come. The sun will rise again. The world will start its machinery again. But that is not your concern right now. That is a problem for the you of tomorrow. The you of right now has only one job: to drift, to sink, to accept the gift of oblivion. Feel the root of the Bodhi tree growing out of your spine, anchoring you to the center of the earth. You are heavy, you are ancient, you are part of the planet. The teaching is finished. The words are fading. My voice is becoming a distant sound, like a bird flying away over the horizon. It is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. There is nothing left to listen to. There is nothing left to understand. The intellect has gone to sleep. The body has gone to sleep. The spirit is safe. You are the monk. You are the peace. You are the chaos. You are the stillness that holds them both. The circle is complete. The gate is closed. The fortress is sealed. Sleep now. Sleep, sleep. In the ancient Upanishads, the sages speak of a secret location within the human body. They do not speak of the brain, which is the seat of the storm. They speak of the guha, the cave of the heart. This is not the physical organ that pumps blood. It is a subtle space, a hidden chamber of ether located in the center of the chest. It is described as being small, no larger than a thumb, yet containing the entire universe within it. Tonight you retreat into this cave. The journey from the head to the heart is the longest journey a human being can make. It is the journey from thinking to being. You have spent the day in the high towers of the intellect, looking out at the world, analyzing, judging, defending. The air up there is cold and windy. The light is harsh. Now you descend the spiral staircase of the spine. You go down, step by step, leaving the noise of the mind behind. You arrive at the entrance of the cave. It is deep within the rib cage. The ribs are the walls of the canyon, strong and curved, protecting this sacred entrance. You step inside. The air here is different. It is warm. It is still. It smells of ancient earth and incense. There is no wind here. The sounds of the outside world, the traffic, the voices, the electronics, are muffled by thick layers of rock and flesh. They are just a dull thrum, a vibration that cannot disturb you. Inside the cave, there is a fire. It is not a roaring bonfire that consumes oxygen and casts wild shadows. It is a bed of embers. They are deep red, pulsing slowly with a gentle, consistent heat. This is the fire of life that has been burning since the moment of your conception. It does not need fuel from the outside. It is self-sustaining. Sit by this fire. Feel the warmth radiating outward, penetrating the muscles of your chest, loosening the tightness in your shoulders. The heat travels down your arms to your fingertips. It travels up your neck to the base of your skull. You are thawing. The frost of the day's anxiety is melting into a pool of relaxation. The walls of the cave are smooth and dark. They glisten with the moisture of life. You are safe here. Nothing can find you. The cave has no address. It does not exist on any map. It is your private sanctuary, the one place where you are not a parent, not an employee, not a partner, not a citizen. You are simply the keeper of the fire. Watch the embers pulse. They dim and brighten in time with your heartbeat. Thump, thump, glow, dim, thump, thump, glow, dim. The rhythm is hypnotic. It is the oldest rhythm in the world. Before you heard music, before you heard language, you heard this rhythm in the womb. It is the drumbeat of safety. In the cave, there is no time. The clocks cannot mark the passing of hours here. The fire burns in an eternal present, whether it is Tuesday or Sunday, whether it is 1963 or 2024, the fire is the same. By sitting here, you step out of the timeline. You are resting in the gap between seconds. The darkness of the cave is not empty. It is heavy like a velvet blanket. It presses against your skin, holding you together. You do not need to hold yourself up. The floor of the cave is solid rock. It goes down miles into the earth. It is immovable. You can surrender your entire weight to it. As you stare into the red glow, your eyelids become heavy. They want to close, not just to block out light, but to seal you inside the cave. When you close your eyes, you are locking the door from the inside. You are turning the key. The world remains outside. You remain inside. There is a profound silence here. It is not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of fullness. It is the silence of a library, or a cathedral, or a deep forest. It is a silence that commands respect. In this silence, your thoughts sound too loud, so they quiet down out of respect for the space. The chatter of the monkey mind echoes once and dies away, absorbed by the stone walls. You are alone, but you are not lonely. You are with yourself. You are with your essence. The masks you wear during the day, the mask of competence, the mask of happiness, the mask of strength are left at the entrance. Here by the fire, you are naked. You are vulnerable, but you are safe. There is nothing to hide because there is no one to watch. Rest in the warmth. Let the heat bake into your bones. Let the red glow become the only thing you see. You are curling up beside the hearth of your own soul. The fire will not go out. It will watch over you while you sleep. It is the sentinel. You can let go of your vigilance. You can drift into the shadows at the back of the cave, where the sleep is deep and dreamless and restorative. You are home. We move now to the philosophy of the Tao, the ancient Chinese way of flowing with nature. The masters speak of a state called Pu, which translates to the uncarved block. Imagine a piece of wood that has just been cut from a great tree in an ancient forest. It is rough. It is simple. It has not yet been carved into a bowl or a chair or a statue. It has no specific function. It has no name. It is just wood. Because it is uncarved, it possesses infinite potential. It could be anything, but right now, it is nothing specific. It is resting in its original nature. You spend your days being carved. Society carves you into a shape. Be productive. Be polite. Be successful. The knife of expectation whittles away at you. The chisel of obligation chips away your edges. You are sanded down, polished, and painted until you look like a finished product. You are a manager. You are a mother. You are a husband. These are shapes. They are useful, but they are limited. And being carved is painful. It creates friction. It creates heat. Sleep is the process of returning to the uncarved block. Tonight, we erase the carving. We reverse the process of the chisel. Visualize yourself as a heavy, solid block of oak. You are sitting in the center of a quiet workshop. The tools have been put away. The lights have been turned off. The craftsman has gone home. There is nothing pressing against you. There is nothing shaping you. You are losing your definition. The sharp edges of your personality are softening. The details of your identity are blurring. You are no longer a specific tool designed for a specific task. You are just existence. You are just substance. Feel the grain of the wood. It is natural. It follows the rhythm of growth. It is not straight lines and right angles. It is curves and knots. Your life, in its natural state, is not a spreadsheet. It is a growth ring. Return to the ring. The uncarved block does not try to be beautiful. It does not try to be useful. It simply sits. It has gravity. It has presence. It is content to be exactly what it is. When you are the uncarved block, you cannot be judged. A bowl can be judged. Is it round enough? Does it hold water? A chair can be judged. Is it comfortable? But a raw block of wood cannot be judged. It has not failed to be anything because it is not trying to be anything. Tonight, you are not trying. You are shedding the need for approval. You are shedding the need for purpose. You do not need a purpose to sleep. Sleep is the absence of purpose. Feel the heaviness of the timber. You are dense. You are grounded. If the wind blows, you do not move. If the rain falls, you get wet, but you do not complain. You are elemental. The block is silent. It absorbs sound. If you shout at a block of wood, the sound does not echo. It sinks in and disappears. Let the noises of the night sink into you. Let the worries of tomorrow sink into you. You are thick enough to hold them without breaking. You are returning to the forest. You are remembering what it was like before you were cut down and brought into the city of men. You are remembering the smell of the damp earth, the feeling of the moss, the slow passage of the sun and moon. In the forest, nothing is in a rush. The oak tree does not hurry to grow. It takes 100 years to gain a foot of girth. You are entering tree time. Slow, deliberate, vegetable patience. Your breathing is the wind moving through the leaves. Rustle. Silence. Rustle. Silence. You are stripping off the varnish. The shiny, hard shell you present to the world is dissolving. Underneath is the raw, soft, honest wood. It is cool to the touch. It is real. Rest in this simplicity. You do not need to be clever tonight. You do not need to be strong. You just need to be. The block waits. The block rests. It holds its energy inside, waiting for the morning, but for now, it is dormant. It is just a shape in the dark, heavy and whole and complete. In the Zen monasteries of Japan, winter is a time of profound teaching. The snow falls heavily in the mountains. It covers the roofs of the temples. It covers the stone lanterns. It covers the pine trees. There is a specific image used in Zen training, the pine branch laden with snow. Visualize a single branch of an ancient pine tree. It is strong, dark, and gnarled. The snow begins to fall. It starts as a few light flakes. They are cold and wet. They land on the needles. They are weightless. But the snow continues. It falls for hours. It falls for days. The flakes accumulate. They bond together, forming a thick, white blanket on top of the branch. The weight grows. It becomes heavy. It presses down. The branch does not fight the snow. It does not try to shake it off. It does not stiffen its muscles to resist the weight. If it tried to stay rigid, it would snap. The wood would crack under the strain. Instead, the branch does something intelligent. It bends. It yields to the weight. It lowers itself. It bows down towards the earth. It accepts the burden completely. And then, at the exact moment when the weight becomes too much, the snow simply slides off. Whoosh! The snow falls to the ground, and the branch springs back up, unharmed, to its original position. This is the cycle of accumulation and release. This is the mechanism of sleep. You are the branch. The day is the snow. The events of the day, the emails, the conversations, the decisions, are the snowflakes. One by one, they are light. But they have accumulated. You are carrying a heavy load of white noise. Most people try to be rigid. They try to hold the weight up. They tense their shoulders. They grit their teeth. They say, "I can handle this." They are afraid that if they bend, they will break. But the teaching of the snow is that you must bend to survive. You must yield to the heaviness. Feel the weight of the day pressing you down into the mattress. Do not resist it. Do not try to push it away. Let it push you down. Let the gravity pull your spine into a curve of surrender. You are bowing down to the night. You are lowering your defenses. You are saying, "I accept this weight." As you yield, you reach the tipping point. The angle becomes steep enough that the snow can no longer hold on. Visualize the heavy, wet snow of your worries sliding off your body. It slides off your shoulders, it slides off your chest, it slides off your legs, it falls silently to the floor. You feel the sudden lightness of the release. The branch springs back. You are free. The snow on the ground acts as a muffler. Have you ever noticed how quiet the world is after a heavy snowfall? The snow absorbs the sound waves. It creates a padded cell of pure white silence. Wrap yourself in this snow. It is not cold. It is cool and refreshing. It numbs the inflammation of the mind. It freezes the racing thoughts. Everything is covered in white. The sharp edges of the world are softened. The dirty streets are hidden. The complex landscape is reduced to a single, smooth, undulating curve of white. There is no color here to stimulate the eyes. There is no movement. There is only the falling snow adding layer upon layer of silence. Flake, flake, flake. Each flake is a second of sleep. They are covering you. You are being buried in rest. You are hibernating beneath the drift. The world outside is frozen. It has stopped. You are safe in the winter of the soul. The sap of the tree has gone down into the roots. The energy has gone deep underground. Let the branch hang low. Let the muscles hang loose. There is no effort required to hang. Gravity does the work. You are flexible. You are yielding. You are surviving by letting go. The snow continues to fall, soft and relentless, filling every hollow, smoothing every worry, creating a landscape of absolute pristine peace. In the vast cosmology of ancient Hinduism, there is a myth that describes the universe not as a vacuum, but as an ocean. It is called the Kshir Sagara, the ocean of milk. This is not water. It is a substance that is thicker, richer, and more nourishing than water. It is the primordial soup of existence. Lord Vishnu, the preserver of the universe, lies floating on this ocean. He sleeps on the coils of a giant serpent, drifting in the endless white expanse. He is in a state of yoga nidra, sleep with a trace of awareness. Tonight you enter this cosmic ocean. You are leaving the dry land of the waking world. The dry land is hard. It hurts your feet. It is full of rocks and thorns. You wade out into the warm, white, milky fluid of deep rest. The density of this ocean is perfect. You cannot sink. It supports you completely. It is impossible to drown in this ocean because you are made of the same substance as the ocean. Lie back. Feel the liquid rise around your ears, cutting off the sensory input. Feel it support the back of your head, your neck, your spine. This fluid is nutrient-rich. It is feeding your nervous system. Every pore of your skin is drinking in the rest. You are soaking in it. Imagine your brain is a dry sponge. It has been squeezed out by the demands of the day. It is brittle and hard. Now you throw the sponge into the ocean of milk. Watch it absorb the liquid. It expands. It softens. The pathways of the mind are being flushed with this soothing, white energy. The toxins of stress are being washed away. There are no waves in this ocean. It is flat and calm, stretching out to the horizon in all directions. The sky above is a soft twilight purple. The water below is a glowing white. You are drifting without a destination. There is no north or south here. There is only here. You feel a profound sense of buoyancy. The gravity of Earth has been canceled out. You are weightless. The heavy burdens you carried, the debt, the relationships, the fears, are heavy only on land. In the water, they float. They detach from you and drift away. You are unencumbered. You are a single point of consciousness floating in eternity. The ocean is silent, but it has a hum. It is the sound of the universe vibrating in harmony. It washes over you, vibrating your bones, tuning you to the frequency of deep sleep. You are dissolving into the milk. The boundaries of your body are becoming indistinct. You are no longer a solid object. You are a fluid moving within a fluid. This is the state of delta sleep, the slow rolling waves of the brain. You are moving slowly like seaweed in a gentle tide. There is no rush to get to the other side of the ocean. There is no other side. There is only the ocean. You are sustained. You are held. You are nourished. Let the current take you. It is a warm current moving deep below the surface. It pulls you down, away from the light, away from the air, down into the depths where the pressure holds you tight. The deeper you go, the safer you are. The surface is where the storms happen. The bottom is where the peace lives. Sink, sink deeper. You are Vishnu, sleeping on the serpent. You are the preserver of your own peace. You are the dreamer of your own universe. Float in the white. Float in the silence, float in the milk of the stars. We arrive now at the concept of the void. In mathematics, the discovery of the number 0 changed everything. Before 0, there was no way to represent nothingness. But 0 is not just an empty hole. It is a placeholder. It is the circle that contains potential. In Buddhism, this is sunyata, emptiness. Tonight, we count down to 0. You have spent the day counting up, adding dollars, adding hours, adding problems, accumulating. Sleep is the mathematics of subtraction. You are subtracting the world. Visualize a blackboard in a dark room. On it is written the number 10. This represents the chaos of the day. Erase it. Write the number 9. The body is settling. Erase it. Write the number 8. The breathing is slowing. Erase it. Write the number 7. The eyelids are locked. Erase it. Write the number 6. The muscles are stone. Erase it. Write the number 5. The thoughts are mist. Erase it. Write the number 4. The bed is a cloud. Erase it. Write the number 3. The mind is a blank page. Erase it. Write the number 2. The self is dissolving. Erase it. Write the number 1. There is only a single point of light left. Erase it. Now draw a circle. 0. Look at the shape of the 0. It is a closed loop. It has no beginning and no end. It is smooth. It is perfect. Step through the 0. It is a portal. On the other side of 0, there is no math. There is no measurement. You cannot be measured. Your worth cannot be calculated. Your time cannot be tracked. You are in the negative space. In this space, you are free from the tyranny of more. You do not need more sleep. You do not need more comfort. You have everything because you are nothing. The 0 point is the center of the wheel. The rim of the wheel moves fast. That is your daily life. The spokes move slower. That is your evening. But the hub, the 0 point, does not move at all. You are in the hub. The world spins around you, but you are stationary. You are the stillness in the center of the tornado. You are the silence between the heartbeats. You are the space between the atoms. Rest in the 0. It is the point of absolute balance. You are not leaning forward into the future. You are not leaning back into the past. You are perfectly upright in the eternal now. There is nothing to do here. There is nothing to fix here. There is only the void. The void is dark. The void is cool. The void is kind. It accepts you without question. You are gone. You are 0. You are asleep. We move now into the high rituals of the East, specifically the ancient Japanese art of chado, the way of tea. In the 16th century, the great tea master Sen no Rikyu revolutionized the understanding of peace. He taught that the simple act of preparing a bowl of tea could be a portal to the absolute. The tea room is designed to be a separate world. The door, the nijiriguchi, is small and low. To enter, the samurai had to leave his swords outside. He had to bow down and crawl through the opening. This was not humiliation. It was equalization. Inside the tea room, there are no warriors, no emperors, no peasants. There are only humans, stripped of their rank, sitting in the dim light. Tonight, your bedroom is the tea room. You have left the swords of your daily battles outside the door. The arguments, the negotiations, the defenses, they are rusted weapons leaning against the wall in the hallway. You have bowed down to enter the horizontal world. You have crawled into the sanctuary of the sheets. Inside this space, you are not a boss or an employee. You are simply a guest of the night. Visualize the tea master sitting in the corner of the room. He moves with a slowness that defies the modern clock. He picks up the bamboo ladle. He dips it into the iron kettle. The water is simmering. The sound of the water is described in the ancient texts as wind blowing through pine trees. Listen to that sound in your mind. It is a soft, continuous hiss. Shh. It is the white noise of the universe boiling down to its essence. The master pours the water into the bowl. He picks up the bamboo whisk. He begins to whisk the tea, back and forth. The wrist is loose, the motion is rhythmic. Swish, swish, swish. He is not trying to finish the tea. He is entirely lost in the motion of the whisk. Your mind is the bowl. The thoughts are the green powder. The breath is the water. The whisk is your attention. Gently, without force, whisk the mind. Blend the jagged thoughts into a smooth, frothy liquid. The individual grains of worry dissolve. They lose their hardness. They become part of the warm, green suspension. Drink the tea. Feel the warmth travel down your throat, coating the stomach. It is a heavy, grounding heat. Sen no Rikyu taught the principle of Ichigo Ichie, one time, one meeting. This moment right now will never happen again. This specific silence, this specific darkness, this specific breath. It is a universe that exists for 1 second and then vanishes. Do not try to hold it. Do not try to rush it. Just drink it. The ceremony is over. The bowl is empty. The mind is warm. From the liquid, we move to the solid. We contemplate the philosophy of the stone wall. In the medieval castles of Europe and the temples of Asia, security was defined by the thickness of the stone. But the most durable walls were not the ones made of cut blocks. They were the dry stone walls, where rocks of different shapes were fitted together without mortar. The friction between the stones held them in place. Your day has been full of irregular rocks, odd-shaped conversations, jagged problems, heavy responsibilities. You are trying to force them into a neat, straight line. You are frustrated because the day was not perfect. It was messy. But the master builder knows that the messiness is the strength. Look at the wall of your day. The mistake you made at 10 a.m., that is a large, ugly rock. Place it at the bottom. It is heavy. It will serve as the foundation. The moment of laughter you had at lunch, that is a small, smooth pebble. Slot it into the gap between the big rocks. The stress of the commute, a sharp, flat slate. Slide it in to shim the gap. Do not reject the parts of your life that are rough. Use them. Build the wall of sleep with them. The anxiety you feel is just energy. It has weight. Use that weight to hold the wall down. Gravity is the mortar. When you stop fighting the irregularity of your life, the wall becomes solid. It surrounds you. You are in the keep. The wind whistles through the cracks, but the wall does not move. You are protected by the very things you thought were burdens. They have become your shelter. We travel now to the concept of kintsugi, the golden joinery. When a precious ceramic bowl breaks in Japan, the masters do not throw it away. They do not try to hide the cracks with invisible glue. Instead, they mix the lacquer with powdered gold. They paint the cracks. They highlight the breakage. The bowl becomes more beautiful, more valuable, and stronger because it has been broken. You are lying there thinking about the cracks in your day. You snapped at a loved one. You forgot a task. You felt weak. You are looking at these fractures with shame. You are trying to hide them in the dark. Bring the gold. The gold is your acceptance. The gold is your mercy toward yourself. Take the brush of forgiveness and paint the crack. I was angry. Paint it gold. It is part of your history. I was afraid. Paint it gold. It makes you human. A pristine bowl is boring. It has no story. You are not a pristine bowl. You are a vessel that has lived. You have been dropped by life and you have put yourself back together. The web of golden lines covering your soul is a map of your resilience. The sleep you are entering now is the kiln. The heat of the night will set the lacquer. You will wake up healed. You will wake up with the gold hardened in the veins of your character. Do not regret the breakage. The light catches the gold. The flaws are the most precious part of the design. Rest in the beauty of your own imperfection. Let us drift to the philosophy of the archer. In the 1920s, a German philosopher named Eugen Herrigel went to Japan to learn archery, or Kyudo. He struggled for years. He tried to aim. He tried to release the arrow with the perfect technique. He tried to hit the target. Every time, he failed. His master told him, "You are trying too hard. You must stop trying to shoot. You must let the arrow shoot itself." This sounds like a riddle, but it is the physiology of sleep. You are the archer. Sleep is the target. You are standing there with the bow drawn. The string is tight. Your muscles are shaking. You are aiming. You are thinking, "I must sleep now. I must hit the target." The more you aim, the more the target moves away. The more you tense the hand, the harder it is to let go of the string. The master says, "Don't think of I shooting. Wait until it shoots." It is the subconscious. It is the body. It knows how to sleep. You, the conscious ego, do not. Loosen your grip on the bowstring. You are holding on to the day. You are holding on to the control. The tension in your forearm is the fear that if you let go, you will miss. But you cannot miss the ground. You cannot miss the night. It is everywhere. Stop aiming. Close your eyes. Lower the bow. You do not need to hit the bullseye of 8 perfect hours. You just need to release the string. The arrow flies in the dark. You do not need to see where it lands. The moment the string snaps forward, the tension leaves the body. The vibration of the bowstring hums in the air and then fades into silence. The arrow is gone. The control is gone. You are standing in the empty dojo of the night. The shot has been taken. The result is irrelevant. The release is everything. Deep in the forests of ancient China, the Taoist sages observed the nature of water. They noticed that water is the softest thing in the world, yet it can penetrate mountains and earth. This is the principle of Wu Wei, effortless action. Water does not try to flow. It does not plan its route to the ocean. It simply surrenders to gravity. When it meets a rock, it does not argue. It flows around it. When it meets a depression, it fills it. When it falls off a cliff, it becomes a waterfall. It changes shape instantly to fit the container. You are often a rock trying to fight the water. You are rigid. You have a plan. I must sleep now. I must feel this way. The water hits you and creates turbulence. Tonight, become the water. Your bed is the riverbed. It has a shape. Pour yourself into it. If the mattress curves, you curve. If the pillow is soft, you soften. Do not hold your shape. A square block cannot flow. Melt the corners of your mind. Become liquid. Water always seeks the lowest point. It is humble. It goes to the places that others disdain. It goes into the deep, dark cracks of the earth. Send your awareness down. Seek the lowest point in your body. Is it the soles of your feet? Is it the heavy bones of the pelvis? Flow down there. Pool in the darkness. When water becomes still, it becomes a mirror. It reflects the moon. It reflects the stars. When your mind becomes still, it reflects the universe. It stops distorting reality with the waves of emotion. The surface becomes glass. You are a dark mountain lake, miles deep, undisturbed by the wind. The fish sleep in the depths. The plants sway in the currents. You are holding the entire ecosystem of your dreams in your cold, clear embrace. We ascend now to the high watchtower. In every ancient city, there was a watchman. While the citizens slept, the watchman stood on the wall. He kept his eyes on the horizon. He walked the perimeter. Because he was awake, the city could sleep. The baker could sleep, the blacksmith could sleep, the children could sleep. They knew that someone was watching. Part of your insomnia is a biological mistake. You believe that you are the watchman. You think that if you close your eyes, the city will burn. You think you need to keep guard over your bank account, your health, your family all night long. But you are not the watchman. You are the citizen. Who is the watchman? The watchman is the autonomic nervous system. It is the part of your brain that has been guarding you for millions of years. It breathes for you. It beats your heart. It digests your food. It heals your wounds. It filters your blood. It does all of this without your permission and without your help. It is infinitely more competent than your conscious mind. Look at the watchman. He is strong. He is vigilant. He is looking at you, nodding his head. He says, "I have the shift. Go to bed." Hand over the keys to the city. Give him the lantern. Tell him, "I am off duty." Feel the relief of resignation. You are not responsible for the next 8 hours. If a tiger comes, the watchman will wake you. If a fire starts, the watchman will wake you. Since he is not waking you, there is no tiger. There is no fire. There is only the quiet hum of the city sleeping. The streets of your body are empty. The windows are dark. The only sound is the footsteps of the watchman, pacing steadily, keeping the rhythm of your life. You are safe to descend into the basement, to lock the door, and to fall into the heavy, guilt-free sleep of the protected. Consider the silence of the seed. In the winter, the seed lies in the frozen ground. To the eye, it looks dead. It is a hard, brown casing. There is no movement, there is no green. It is buried in the dark under tons of snow and dirt. But inside the seed, there is a dream of a forest. The DNA of the giant oak is folded up in the dark. The seed is not waiting, it is doing, it is resting, it is gathering the potential energy it needs to break the shell. You are the seed in the winter earth. The sheets are the soil. The darkness is the dirt. Do not be afraid of the burial. You must be buried to grow. You must go underground. The pressure of the earth against your skin is comforting. It holds you tight. It tells you that you do not need to move yet. It is not time to sprout. It is not time to break the surface. It is time to lie dormant. Dormancy is a biological miracle. It is a state of suspended animation where the organism conserves everything. The heart rate drops to the bare minimum. The temperature drops. The metabolism slows to a crawl. You are entering hibernation. There is a wisdom in the winter. It knows that constant growth is cancer. Nature requires the pause. Nature requires the death of the old year before the birth of the new. Let the winter enter your mind. Let the frost cover the windows of your eyes. Let the ice stop the flow of the river of thoughts. Everything is white. Everything is still. You are curled up tight in the center of the earth, a tiny spark of life wrapped in layers of protective shell, waiting for the distant spring that is hours away. For now, the cold is your blanket. The dark is your mother. We drift to the concept of the lighthouse. Imagine a rocky coast in Scotland. The fog is thick, rolling in off the Atlantic. You cannot see your hand in front of your face, but every 10 seconds, a beam of light cuts through the mist. Sweep, dark, sweep, dark. The lighthouse does not shout. It does not run around trying to save ships. It just stands there and rotates. It is consistent. It is reliable. It is the definition of stability. Your breath is the beam. Inhale, the light sweeps out. Exhale, the darkness returns. Inhale, the light sweeps out. Exhale, the darkness returns. The rhythm is mechanical and soothing. You are the lighthouse keeper. You are sitting in the round room at the top of the tower. The rain lashes against the glass, but the glass is thick. You are warm inside. You are watching the mechanism turn. The gears are oiled and silent. The beam touches the water, illuminating the waves for a split second, and then lets them fall back into the night. Illuminate a thought. Let it go back to the dark. Illuminate a sensation. Let it go back to the dark. The intervals are getting longer. The rotation is slowing down. The light is getting dimmer. The fog is getting thicker. Soon there is no light left. There is only the fog. A thick, gray, comforting wool that wraps around the tower. The ships are safe in the harbor. The ocean has calmed down. The lighthouse keeper puts his head on the desk and sleeps. The light continues to turn deeper inside, a rhythmic pulse that guides you down, down, down. Let us walk into the library of dust. Imagine a vast, ancient library with shelves that go up to the ceiling, disappearing into the shadows. This library contains every day you have ever lived. There is a book for today. You are holding the book of today. It is a heavy volume. It is full of the conversations, the emails, the miles you drove, the food you ate. You are clutching it to your chest. You are trying to read the pages again, checking for errors, checking for typos. But the librarian is here. He is a tall, silent figure made of shadows. He holds out his hand. The library is closing, he whispers. You cannot check this book out. It must stay here. You hand him the book. He takes it. He does not read it. He simply slides it onto the shelf. It clicks into place next to the book of yesterday. Dust begins to settle on the spine immediately. The day is becoming history. It is becoming archive. You cannot edit a book that is already on the shelf. You cannot rewrite the ink that has already dried. Walk away from the shelf. Leave the book. The story of today is finished. The ink is permanent. There is nothing more to add. Walk towards the exit of the library. The lights are turning off behind you, row by row. Click, click, click. The aisles of memory are plunging into darkness. You step out the heavy wooden doors into the cool night air. The doors lock behind you. You do not have the key. You cannot go back in and ruminate. You are locked out of the past. You are standing in the garden of the present. The air is fresh. You are empty-handed. You feel lighter. The burden of the biography has been lifted. You are no longer the protagonist of the story. You are just the reader who has closed the book and turned off the lamp. Finally, we arrive at the threshold of the great sleep. The Greeks called it Hypnos, the god of sleep. He was the brother of Thanatos, death. They lived in a cave where the river Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, flowed. To drink from the river Lethe is to forget the day. You must drink. The water is cool and dark. Cup your hands. Bring the water to your lips. Drink. With the first sip, the names of your colleagues fade. With the second sip, the list of tomorrow's chores dissolves. With the third sip, your own name becomes a sound you once heard but can no longer remember. The amnesia is a blessing. It is the only way to be renewed. You cannot be fresh tomorrow if you are still remembering today. You must be wiped clean. You must be formatted. The river flows through your mind, washing away the footprints on the sand. The beach is smooth again. You are drifting on the river Lethe. It flows into a subterranean cavern. The ceiling is studded with glowworms, like stars in a stone sky. The boat is rocking gently. There is no more land. There is no more light. There is no more sound. There is only the sensation of being carried. We continue the journey into the architecture of silence. Consider the ancient practice of the Tibetan sand mandala. In the temples of the Himalayas, monks spend weeks bending over a flat surface, holding small metal funnels called chakpur. Grain by grain, they release colored sand onto the table. They create an image of geometric perfection. It is a palace of complexity full of symbols, deities, and cosmic maps. The focus required is absolute. If they sneeze, the world is ruined. If they shake, the line is destroyed. They pour their entire life force into the creation of this image. It is a masterpiece of discipline and beauty. And then, the moment it is finished, they do something that the Western mind cannot comprehend. They do not frame it, they do not sell it, they do not seal it behind glass. They stand up, they take a brush, and they sweep it all away. They push the colored sand into a pile of gray dust. They put the dust in a jar and pour it into the nearest river. The teaching is brutal and beautiful. Nothing is permanent. The effort is the point, not the outcome. Your day-to-day was a mandala. You built it with your energy. You arranged the grains of sand, the meetings, the emails, the conversations, the chores. You tried to make it perfect. You tried to make the lines straight. You worried about the colors. And now you are lying in bed, trying to preserve it. You are trying to frame the day. You are looking back at the mandala, thinking, I should have put more blue there, or that line is crooked. Sweep it away. Visualize a soft, wide brush in your hand. The bristles are made of horsehair. Stand over the image of your day. It is intricate. It was hard work, but it is over. Brush the sand into the center. The distinct colors of success and failure mix together. They turn into a neutral gray. The structure dissolves. The hierarchy dissolves. The details vanish. It is just a pile of dust now. Scoop up the dust. Walk to the river of the night. Pour it in. The water takes it. The river does not judge the art. It just accepts the sand. You are free from the creation. You do not have to carry the art gallery of your past days. You are a blank table. Tomorrow you will pick up the funnel again. Tomorrow you will build a new world. But tonight the table is bare. The table is clean. Rest in the emptiness of the swept floor. We move to the metaphor of the bamboo. In the Zen tradition, bamboo is revered not for its strength, but for its hollowness. A tree is solid wood. If a hurricane comes, the oak tree resists the wind. It stands rigid, and often because it is rigid, it snaps. The bamboo is different. It has no core. It is empty inside. When the wind comes, the bamboo bends to the ground. The wind flows through it and around it. You are often exhausted because you are trying to be the oak. You are trying to be solid. You are trying to block the wind of stress with your sheer density. You think, I must be tough. I must not let this get to me. This is resistance. Resistance creates friction. Friction creates heat. Heat destroys sleep. Tonight, become the bamboo. Visualize your body as a hollow tube. You are not a solid block of meat and bone. You are a vessel of air. The skin is just the bark. Inside there is space. When a thought comes, a worry about money, a fear about health, do not block it. Do not put up a wall. Let it pass right through you. You are a tunnel. The wind enters one ear and leaves the other. It finds no purchase. It finds nothing to push against. Because you are hollow, you are light. You sway gently in the breeze of the breath back and forth. Inhale, sway. Exhale, sway. The movement is not defensive. It is a dance. The storm may rage outside, but the hollow space inside the bamboo is always sheltered. It is a column of still air. You are wrapping yourself around this stillness. You are defining yourself not by your shell, but by your emptiness. From the plant kingdom we descend to the mineral kingdom, to the concept of the marionette. Imagine a puppet made of wood. It has strings attached to its head, its shoulders, its elbows, its knees. During the day, the puppeteer, which is your will, pulls these strings tight. Stand up, the will says. The string goes tight. The spine straightens. Smile, the will says. The string goes tight. The face lifts. Walk, the will says. The strings jerk the legs. You have been dancing on these strings for 16 hours. You are suspended against gravity by the tension of your own intentions. You are holding yourself up. Now the show is over. The curtain has fallen. The audience has gone home. The puppeteer hangs up the crossbar. Cut the strings. Take a pair of imaginary scissors. Snip the string holding your head. Snap. Feel the head fall back into the pillow. It is heavy wood. It has no neck muscles to hold it. It rolls to the side. Snip the strings holding the shoulders. Snap. The shoulders drop 2 inches. They collapse into the mattress. They are dead weight. Snip the strings holding the hands. Snap. The fingers curl. They are useless now. They cannot grip. They cannot type. They are just carved wood resting on the sheets. Snip the strings holding the legs. Snap. The feet splay outwards. The tension in the thighs vanishes. You are a pile of parts. You are disjointed. There is no tension holding you together. The gravity of the earth is the only force acting on you. You are not defying gravity anymore. You are surrendering to it. A puppet does not worry about the next performance. A puppet does not dream of being a real boy. A puppet simply waits in the dark, loose and silent, until the strings are pulled again. For now, there are no strings. There is only the box, the velvet-lined box of sleep. We enter the realm of the silkworm. In ancient China, the discovery of silk changed the world. But the biology of the silkworm is a teaching in self-protection. When the worm is ready to transform, it does not go out and fight. It does not look for a cave. It builds its own cave. It spins a single continuous thread from its own body, wrapping itself layer by layer in a cocoon. Your bed is your cocoon. The sheets are the silk. You are spinning a protective layer around yourself. With every breath, you add another layer of thread. Inhale, spin the thread. Exhale, wrap it around. The thread is made of silence. It is white, soft, and unbreakable. You are winding it around your feet, around your legs, around your torso. You are mummifying yourself in comfort. The outside world is still there, but it is muffled by 1,000 layers of silk. The noises are dull thuds. The light is a soft haze. You are hermetically sealed. Inside the cocoon, a miracle is happening. The worm is dissolving. It is melting down its old form to create a new one. This is what sleep does to you. It melts down the tired, damaged cells of the you that existed today. It repairs the DNA. It washes the brain. You are in the liquidation phase. You are losing your structure. Do not be afraid of the goo. You must become soft to become new. You are a soup of potential life. The cocoon holds you together while you are liquid. It is a pressure vessel. Feel the pressure of the blankets. It is a deep touch pressure that signals the nervous system to shut down. It mimics the sensation of being held in the womb. You are safe to dissolve. You are safe to change. In the morning, you will cut the thread. You will emerge with wings. But for now, you are the worm in the dark, working the magic of stillness. We travel to the misty mountains of Japan, to the concept of the koi pond. In the garden of a Zen temple, the water is dark and deep. The koi fish are massive, ancient creatures. They are gold, orange, and white. They do not swim like small fish. They do not dart. They do not rush. They hover. They move their fins with a slowness that is almost imperceptible. They glide through the dark water like airships. They are perfectly neutrally buoyant. They neither sink nor float. They are one with the water. Your thoughts are usually like minnows, fast, twitchy, changing direction every millisecond. Tonight, you trade the minnow mind for the koi mind. Visualize a single giant golden koi swimming in the center of your chest. It is moving in slow motion. Its tail sways once, pause, sway back, pause. The water is cold and clear. The fish is silent. It has no predators. It has nowhere to go. It is simply hanging in the depths. Become the fish. Feel the water passing over your gills. The breath is the water. It flows in cool, it flows out warm. The koi does not think about the water, it is the water. You do not think about the sleep, you are the sleep. Go deeper. The surface of the pond is miles above you. The rain ripples the surface, but down here in the benthic zone, there is no ripple. There is only the pressure of the depth. The pressure is holding you. It is a hug from the universe. The mud at the bottom of the pond is soft. You settle into the mud. You stop swimming. You rest your belly on the bottom. The silt rises up gently in a cloud and then settles back down, covering you. You are camouflaged. You are hidden. You are dormant. Let us contemplate the bell of the watch. In the maritime traditions, the ship's bell marked the changing of the guard. 8 bells meant the watch was over. The sailor could leave the deck. He could go below. He could crawl into his hammock. He was relieved of duty. There is a bell ringing in your biology. It is the melatonin bell. It has been ringing since the sun went down, but you have been ignoring it. You have been staying on deck, staring at the horizon, looking for icebergs that aren't there. Hear the bell now. Ding, 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 ding. 8 bells. The captain has come on deck. He puts a hand on your shoulder. I have the helm, he says. Go below. The captain is the universe. It knows how to steer the planet through the night. It does not need your help. You are a junior sailor. You are tired. Your eyes are burning from the salt spray of the day. Walk away from the wheel. Let go of the spokes. The ship is huge. It is on a steady course. Climb down the ladder. Go deep into the belly of the ship. The sound of the wind dies away. The rolling of the ship becomes a gentle cradle. You climb into the hammock. The hammock swings in opposition to the roll of the ship. When the ship rolls left, you swing right. You are always level. You are suspended in the center of the motion. The wood of the ship creaks. This is a comforting sound. It means the ship is flexing, not breaking. It means the structure is sound. You are off duty. There is nothing you can do from down here. Even if you wanted to worry, it would be useless. You cannot see the ocean. You cannot steer. You are cargo. Be happy to be cargo. Let yourself be carried to the port of morning. We move to the metaphor of the glacial ice. High in the Alps, the glaciers sit in the valleys. They look like frozen rivers. They look motionless, but they are moving. They move at a pace that is invisible to the human eye, an inch a year. This is the pace of deep rest. We live in a world of high-speed internet, high-speed travel, high-speed food. We are addicted to the blur. Tonight, you apply the brakes. You shift into glacial time. Imagine your blood is turning to slush. It is cooling down. It is thickening. It is moving through your veins like a slow river of ice. The heart pumps, and then waits, and then pumps. The thoughts are freezing. A thought usually moves like a lightning bolt. Now it moves like a drifting iceberg. It is massive, white, and slow. It takes 10 minutes for a thought to cross the horizon of your mind. You watch it drift. You do not analyze it. It is just a shape in the distance. The cold is preserving you. It is slowing down the decay. It is slowing down the aging. You are entering a cryogenic state. Feel the heaviness of the ice. A glacier creates its own valley by its sheer weight. You are making a valley in the mattress. You are sinking so deep that you are becoming part of the geology of the bed. The air around you is crisp and thin. You are above the tree line. There is no pollen, no dust, no noise. Just the blue-white silence of the high peaks. The stars are sharp and cold above you. They are watching the ice. You are frozen in a perfect moment of peace. Nothing can move you. You are solid water. You are latent power resting on the side of the mountain. Consider the art of the potter. The potter takes a lump of wet clay. It is shapeless. It is messy. He throws it onto the wheel. The wheel begins to spin. If the clay is not in the center, it wobbles. It flies off. It makes a mess. The first job of the potter is centering. He presses his hands against the clay. He applies pressure from the outside and the inside. He forces the clay into the exact middle of the wheel. Once the clay is centered, it seems to stop moving. The wheel is spinning fast, but the clay looks still. It is perfectly aligned with the axis of rotation. You are the clay. The day has knocked you off center. You are wobbling. You are dizzy. Tonight the hands of sleep are pressing against you. Feel the pressure on your skin. It is the potter's hands. He is pushing you back to the center. Come back, he whispers. Come back to the middle. He presses on your forehead. He presses on your chest. He presses on your legs. He is aligning you with the axis of the earth. You feel the wobble disappear. You feel the vibration smooth out. You are finding your axis. Now that you are centered, you can be shaped. But tonight, we are not making a pot. We are making a void. The potter pushes his thumbs into the center of the clay and opens it up. He creates a space inside. A bowl is defined by the empty space it contains. You are opening up. You are becoming receptive. You are a deep, wide bowl waiting to be filled with the nectar of sleep. The walls of the bowl are strong and even. The center is empty. Spinning, spinning, stillness. The motion creates the stability. You are spinning with the earth, but because you are centered, you feel no motion. You are perfectly balanced. We arrive at the concept of the bridge. In many mythologies, sleep is a bridge between the world of the living and the world of the spirits. It is a crossing. You are standing at the entrance of a covered wooden bridge. It is old. The planks are worn smooth by millions of feet. Below the bridge, a river flows in the dark. Behind you is the village of day. The lights are on in the houses. You can hear the faint sounds of music and arguments. You can see the smoke rising from the chimneys. Ahead of you is the forest of night. It is dark. It is silent. There are no paths. You must cross the bridge. You cannot stay in the village. The gates are closing. Step onto the wood. Creak. The sound of the village begins to fade. The roof of the bridge blocks out the sky. You are in a tunnel. You are in the liminal space, the space between. You are not awake, but you are not yet asleep. You are in transit. Walk slowly. There is no need to run. The bridge is safe. Halfway across, you stop. You look over the railing into the black water below. You drop your keys into the water. The keys to your house, the keys to your car, the keys to your office. Splash. They are gone. You cannot go back to the village now. You have no way to get in. You must go forward. You reach the other side. The forest smells of pine and damp earth. The ground is soft moss. You step off the bridge. You are in the domain of the moon. Here the rules of logic do not apply. Here gravity is optional. Here you can fly. Here you can breathe underwater. You have crossed over. The bridge fades behind you. The path ahead is lit by fireflies. They are guiding you to a bed of ferns where you will lie down and let the forest consume you. Let us look at the anchor of the breath once more, but deeper. Imagine you are a deep-sea diver. You are wearing a heavy suit. You have lead boots. You are walking on the bottom of the ocean. You have an air hose connecting you to the surface ship. That air hose is your breath. It is the umbilical cord of life. As long as the air flows, you are safe. Hiss, inhale, hiss, exhale. The sound of the regulator is the only sound in the world. It is a mechanical, rhythmic reassurance. The water pressure is immense. It presses against the suit. But the suit is strong. The pressure feels like a tight hug. It holds your molecules together. You are walking in slow motion. Every step takes 5 seconds. You lift your boot, you float forward, you set it down. Dust rises in a slow cloud. You see a cave in the coral reef. It is glowing with a soft blue light. You crawl inside. The cave is small. It fits you perfectly. You curl up on the sandy floor. You are miles beneath the storm. The surface waves could be 50 feet high, but down here the water is still as glass. Check your gauge. Oxygen is full. You have enough air for the whole night. Trust the hose. The ship up there, the autonomic nervous system, is manned by an expert crew. They are pumping the air. They are watching the dials. You do not need to check the hose. You just need to breathe. The regulator does the work. It pushes the air into your lungs. You don't even have to suck. The air is given to you. It is a gift. Receive the gift. Release the exhaust bubbles. Watch them float up to the ceiling of the cave. They are your thoughts. Let them go. We return to the Japanese concept of ma, the gap, but now visualize it as the space between raindrops. It is raining hard, a thunderstorm. Usually you focus on the water, you get wet, but imagine you are small enough, ant-sized, that you can walk between the drops. The rain is falling all around you, crashing into the ground like bombs. Splat, splat. But if you time it right, if you find the rhythm, you can walk through the storm without ever getting touched. The space between the drops is dry. The space between the drops is peaceful. Your thoughts are the rain. They are coming down hard, but they are not a solid sheet of water. They are individual drops. There is a gap. Step into the gap. Stand there. Look at the drop of worry falling to your left. Look at the drop of planning falling to your right. They are close, but they missed you. You are walking the dry path. It is a narrow path, but it is there. It winds through the chaos. As you walk this path, the rain begins to slow down. The storm is running out of water. The drops become farther apart. Now there is acres of space between them. You can walk easily. The clouds break. A single ray of moonlight hits the wet pavement. It shines like silver. You have walked through the storm and you are dry. You found the silence in the noise. Finally, we contemplate the candle of the heart. In the Orthodox traditions, monks go into the desert caves to pray. They light a single beeswax candle. The smell is sweet and earthy. The flame is not just light, it is a living presence. It consumes the oxygen and transforms it into heat and light. Visualize this candle in the center of your chest. It is a tall, thin taper. The flame is golden with a blue center. It is perfectly still. This flame burns the impurities of the blood. As your blood circulates through your heart, it passes through the flame. The stress is burned away. The adrenaline is burned away. The anger is burned away. The blood that leaves the heart is purified. It is warm and clean. It travels to your toes, warming them. It travels to your fingers, warming them. You are a furnace of purification. The candle is getting shorter. It is measuring the time, but it is a slow-burning candle. It will last all night. Watch the flame. Focus on the blue center. That is the hottest part, but it looks the coolest. That is the paradox. In the center of the heat, there is cool peace. Your eyes are the wax. They are melting. Your body is the candlestick. It is holding the light upright. The room is getting darker. The candle is the only thing left in the universe. And now even the candle begins to dim. It is not going out. It is merging. The light inside becomes the same as the darkness outside. We continue the descent. We move deeper into the archive of silence, exploring the wisdom of the desert fathers, the physics of the cosmos, and the biology of the deep ocean. In the 3rd century, a strange migration occurred. Men and women left the cities of Egypt. They left the markets of Alexandria, the temples of Thebes, and the fertile banks of the Nile. They walked out into the Seats desert. They sought a place where there was nothing. No shade, no water, no noise, no comfort. They were the desert fathers and mothers, the first Christian monks. They lived in small mud brick huts or natural caves carved into the sandstone cliffs. These dwellings were called cells. A young monk once approached the great Abba Moses and asked for a word of wisdom. He asked, "Father, how do I find peace? How do I find God?" Abba Moses did not give him a lecture. He did not give him a book. He simply said, "Go, sit in your cell, and your cell will teach you everything." This is the instruction for tonight. Your bedroom is your cell. The modern mind hates the cell. The modern mind wants to be everywhere at once. It wants to be in the living room watching a screen. It wants to be in the kitchen eating. It wants to be in the office working. It wants to be in the past. It wants to be in the future. It calls this freedom. But the Desert Fathers knew that this freedom is actually a form of slavery. It is the slavery of acedia, spiritual restlessness. It is the inability to remain still. When you first lie down in your cell, the demons come. Not red devils with pitchforks, but the demons of boredom, the demons of itchiness, the demons of "I should be doing something else." You feel the urge to get up. You feel the urge to check your phone. You feel the urge to fix a pillow that isn't broken. This is the test. Staying in the cell is the practice. You must commit to the geography of the mattress. You must make a vow of stability. For the next 8 hours, I will not leave this rectangle. When you refuse to leave the cell, a transformation occurs. At first, the cell feels like a prison. The walls feel too close. The silence feels oppressive. But if you stay, if you simply outwait the restlessness, the walls begin to expand. The cell stops being a cage and starts being a fortress. You realize that by restricting your body to this small space, you have liberated your mind. You have cut off the options. The paralysis of choice is gone. You do not have to decide where to go. You are already there. You do not have to decide what to do. There is nothing to do. The cell teaches you that you are enough. You do not need entertainment to be alive. You do not need external validation to exist. You just need air and a beating heart. Visualize the desert night outside your cell. The sand is cooling down after the blistering heat of the day. The sky is a vast dome of black velvet pierced by millions of stars. The air is dry and pure. There is no sound for 100 miles, no chariots, no voices, no wind. You are wrapped in a rough wool blanket. The floor of the cell is hard, but you welcome the hardness. It aligns your spine. It reminds you of reality. The boredom you feel is actually peace. You are just not used to the taste of it. You are used to the spicy, sugary taste of stimulation. Peace tastes like water. It is plain. It is clear. At first, it seems to have no flavor, but as you drink it, as you lie there in the cell, you realize it is the only thing that truly quenches your thirst. Stay in the cell. Let the demons of restlessness scratch at the door. Do not answer. You are the abbot of this monastery. You have declared the great silence. The world stops at the threshold of the door. Inside, there is only the slow, rhythmic breathing of a soul that has stopped running. We expand our vision now from the microscopic cell of the monk to the telescopic vastness of the cosmos. We turn to the physics of your own existence. You often feel small and fragile. You worry about your health, your age, your mortality. You feel like a temporary biological machine that is breaking down. But this is a limited view. Physics tells a different story. Every atom in your body, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the carbon in your skin, was manufactured inside the core of a giant star billions of years ago. The universe began with only hydrogen and helium, simple light gases. They could not make a human. They could not make a brain. To make the heavy elements required for life, a star had to live for millions of years, burning at unimaginable temperatures, fusing atoms together in a nuclear furnace. And then that star had to die. It had to explode in a supernova, a cataclysm of light and energy that scattered those heavy atoms across the galaxy. Those atoms drifted through the vacuum of space for eons. They formed dust clouds. They formed solar systems. They clumped together to form the Earth. And eventually, through the miraculous chain of biology, they came together to form you. You are not metaphorically made of stardust. You are literally made of stardust. You are a collection of ancient cosmic debris that has temporarily come together to have a conscious experience. Tonight, you return to the state of the star. Lie in your bed and feel the weight of your body. That weight is the result of gravity acting on the iron and the carbon. You are heavy because you are ancient. Your body is 13.8 billion years old. Your face may be 30, 40, or 60 years old, but your atoms are as old as time itself. They have been part of asteroids. They have been part of dinosaurs. They have been part of oceans. Now they are you. This perspective shatters the anxiety of the ego. The ego is terrified of the future. The ego thinks it is separate and alone, but the atoms know better. They know they are part of the eternal cycle of energy and matter. They are not afraid of sleep. Sleep is just a return to the low-energy state of the dust cloud. Visualize your bed floating in the center of the Orion Nebula. You are surrounded by clouds of purple and gold gas. New stars are being born around you. Old stars are dying. It is a slow, silent cosmic ballet. There is no air here, only the ether. There is no sound here, only the vibration of gravity waves. You are expanding. The boundaries of your skin are dissolving into the nebula. You are losing your density. You are becoming a cloud of particles. One atom floats away from your fingertip. You are drifting apart, but it does not hurt. It feels like a release. You are letting go of the tight formation of being human. You are returning to the loose formation of being universe. The silence of space is absolute. It is a vacuum. It sucks the noise out of your mind. A shout in space makes no sound. A worry in space has no mass. Float in the zero gravity. There is no up or down. There is no falling. There is only drifting. You are suspended in the velvet darkness, held by the gentle hands of centrifugal force. You are a traveler who has stopped for the night. You have parked your spaceship. You have turned off the engines. The cooling systems are clicking. Tick, tick, tick. You are drifting on the currents of the Milky Way, safe in the knowledge that you are made of immortal material. You cannot be destroyed. You can only change form. And tonight, the form you are taking is that of pure, deep rest. We descend now from the stars to the crushing depths of the ocean. We look to the sperm whale, the leviathan of the deep, for a lesson in how to sleep under pressure. The sperm whale is a mammal. It breathes air, yet it spends its life in an environment that is hostile to mammals. It dives miles deep into the midnight zone, where the pressure is strong enough to crush a submarine. How does it sleep? It cannot curl up on the seafloor. It cannot float on the surface, or it might drift into danger. Recent science has discovered something miraculous. Sperm whales sleep vertically. They arrange themselves in pods, hanging straight up and down in the water column, suspended like massive gray pillars in the dark cathedral of the sea. Their noses point toward the surface, their tails hang toward the abyss. They are perfectly buoyant. They do not swim. They do not fin. They just hang. Tonight, you are the whale. The air in your room is water. It is thick, heavy, and dark. You are suspended in it. The pressure you feel, the stress of your life, is not something to fight. It is the water pressure. It is holding you together. If the pressure were gone, you would explode. You need the pressure. It hugs you. It compresses your muscles, squeezing out the tension. The whale has a massive heart. It beats slowly. When it dives, the heart rate slows down to just a few beats per minute. This is the mammalian dive reflex. Trigger that reflex now. Tell your heart, we are diving. The surface is far away. The sun is a distant memory. We are going down to the midnight zone. Beat, wait, wait, wait. beat, the blood moves thick and slow. It concentrates in the vital organs. The extremities, the hands and feet, cool down. The core stays warm. In this vertical sleep, the whale shuts down one hemisphere of its brain at a time. It is never fully unconscious, yet it is fully rested. It maintains a thread of awareness, enough to know it is safe, enough to know where the pod is, while the rest of the mind goes dark. You do not need to turn your brain off completely to sleep. That is a myth that causes anxiety. You just need to power down the engines. You can leave the pilot light on. You can leave the sonar on. Send out a ping of sonar into the dark room. Ping, it bounces off the walls. It tells you safe. Ping, it tells you quiet. Ping, it tells you alone. You are drifting in the pod. Even though you are alone in your bed, you are connected to the pod of humanity. Millions of other people are sleeping right now. You are hanging in the water column with them. You are part of the great school of sleepers. The water supports your massive weight. You are tons of blubber and bone, but here you are weightless. The ocean takes the burden. You do not have to hold yourself up. Feel the currents moving past your skin. They are cold currents rising from the deep trenches. They wash over you, cooling the inflammation of the day. You are a giant. You are ancient. You are silent. You are simply a shape in the darkness, waiting for the morning, breathing the stored oxygen of your own peace. In the courts of feudal Japan, the samurai and the nobles practiced an art called kodo, the way of fragrance. They did not say they smelled the incense. They said they listened to the incense. To smell is passive. To listen is active. It requires a profound, quiet focus. The ceremony takes place in a small, silent room. A mica plate is placed over a burning piece of bamboo charcoal. A tiny piece of rare wood, agar wood or sandalwood, is placed on the mica. The wood does not burn. It heats up. It releases its invisible spirit into the air. The participants sit in absolute silence. They hold the incense cup. They breathe in. They listen to the story the wood is telling. Tonight, we perform the ceremony of kodo in your mind. Imagine the room is dark. In the center of your chest, there is a small charcoal brazier. It is glowing with a faint orange heat. This is your life force. Now, place a chip of sandalwood on the charcoal. Visualize the scent. It is not a visual thing, it is a feeling. It is a dry, woody, creamy scent. It smells of ancient temples. It smells of old books. It smells of safety. Breathe in slowly through the nose. Do not just pull air, pull the scent. Listen to it. What is it saying? It is saying, slow down. It is saying, here. It is saying, now. The smoke rises in a single thin column. It is perfectly straight because there is no wind in your mind. It rises up through your throat, into your sinuses, into the center of your brain. As the smoke touches the brain, it acts as a sedative. It coats the racing thoughts in a layer of fine gray ash. The thoughts become heavy. They stop moving. They settle down like dust on a bookshelf. The scent is invisible, yet it changes the atmosphere of the room. It sanctifies the space. Your bedroom is no longer a place of tossing and turning. It is a temple. Focus entirely on the olfactory sensation. The nose is a direct pathway to the limbic system, the emotional center of the brain. It bypasses the logic centers. You cannot analyze a smell. You can only experience it. Breathe out. Imagine the gray smoke leaving your body, carrying with it the toxins of the day. Breathe in. The gold scent enters. Breathe out. The gray smoke leaves. The charcoal is burning down. It is turning to white ash. The wood is spent. The scent is fading. In kodo, the fading of the scent is the most beautiful part. It is the reminder of impermanence. The moment is gone. You cannot hold on to the smell. You must let it go. Let the sensation fade. Let the focus fade. You are left in the room filled with the memory of the scent, a ghost of peace that hangs in the air, wrapping you in a blanket of sensory comfort. We return to the river, but we go deeper into the specific parable of Chuang Tzu, the great Taoist sage. He told the story of the empty boat not just as a lesson in anger, but as a lesson in identity. He said, "If a man is crossing a river and an empty boat collides with his own skiff, even though he be a bad-tempered man, he will not become very angry. But if he sees a man in the boat, he will shout at him to steer clear. If the shout is not heard, he will shout again and yet again and begin cursing, and all because there is somebody in the boat. Yet if the boat were empty, he would not be shouting and he would not be angry." Then comes the master instruction. If you can empty your own boat, crossing the river of the world, no one will oppose you, no one will seek to harm you. You are lying in bed, but your boat is full. It is full of me. It is full of I want, I need, I am afraid, I am successful, I am a failure. This cargo makes your boat heavy. It makes you sit low in the water. It makes you slow, and it makes you a target. The friction of the day hit you because you were solid. Tonight, we throw the cargo overboard. We empty the boat, pick up the box labeled My Ambition. It is heavy. It is made of lead. It served you well at the office, but here it is useless ballast. Throw it over the side. Splash. The boat rises an inch. Pick up the box labeled My Regret. It is an ugly, rusted box. It leaks poison. Why are you keeping it? It cannot change the past. Throw it over. Splash. The boat rises higher. Pick up the box labeled My Opinion. This is the heaviest box of all. You carry so many opinions. Opinions about the news, opinions about your neighbors, opinions about yourself. They are just noise. Throw them over. Splash. The boat is getting light. It is skimming the surface of the water. Now, look at the driver's seat. Who is sitting there? It is the ego, the little dictator who runs your life. He is tired. He is gripping the steering wheel so hard his hands are bleeding. Tell him to jump. He looks at you, terrified. But who will steer? Tell him, the river steers. Push him over. He hits the water. He dissolves. He was never real. He was just a shadow. Now the boat is truly empty. There is no cargo. There is no driver. An empty boat cannot be offended. An empty boat cannot be disappointed. An empty boat cannot be stressed. It just floats. If a problem comes along and hits the empty boat, it just bumps it and moves on. There is no resistance. Bonk. Drift. You are the wooden hull. You are drifting downstream in the mist. You have no destination. You have no schedule. You are not trying to get to the other side. You are just being carried by the Tao. The current is gentle. The water is black and glossy. You spin slowly in the eddies, around and around. The motion is soothing. It is the motion of a cradle. You are hollow. You are open to the sky. The moon shines into the empty hull. You are filled with light instead of luggage. You are free. In the ancient forges, the blacksmith works the steel. He heats it in the fire until it glows white-hot. He hammers it. He folds it. He beats it into shape. The steel screams under the hammer. It is stressed. It is aligned. But the process is not finished until the quench. The blacksmith takes the white-hot metal and plunges it into a trough of dark oil or water. Hiss! A cloud of steam rises. The metal screams one last time and then goes silent. The heat is sucked out instantly. The molecules of the steel freeze in place. The metal hardens. It becomes durable. Your day was the forge. You were the metal. You were heated by deadlines, hammered by demands, folded by complexity. You are lying in bed, still glowing with the residual heat of the day. You are radiating the thermal energy of stress. Sleep is the oil. Sleep is the trough. You must plunge yourself in. Visualize the trough. It is a long stone container filled with thick, black, cool oil. The oil is still. It smells of earth and carbon. Slide into the oil. Feel the hiss as your body hits the liquid. The heat leaves your skin. The red glow fades to gray. The vibration of the atoms slows down instantly. The oil is viscous. It is thicker than water. It coats you. It seals you. It protects the metal from rusting. As you cool down, you harden, not in a rigid way, but in a strong way. The stress of the day is being locked into strength. The suffering is being transformed into resilience. This is the tempering. If you stay in the fire too long, you melt. You lose your shape. You must go into the quench. Lie at the bottom of the trough. The oil is heavy. It presses against your eyelids. It presses against your ears. The world is muffled. You are no longer reacting. Metal in the fire is reactive. It bends easily. Metal in the oil is stable. You are becoming stable. The steam clears. The surface of the oil becomes glass again. You are submerged. You are cool. You are done. The hammer cannot touch you here. The fire cannot touch you here. You are curing in the dark. Nature loves the spiral. You see it in the galaxies. You see it in the storms. And you see it in the shell of the nautilus. The nautilus is a cephalopod that lives in the deep ocean. It builds a shell that is a perfect logarithmic spiral. As it grows, it builds a new, larger chamber to live in and seals off the old, smaller chamber behind it. It never goes back to the old chamber. It always moves forward into the larger space. You are often stuck trying to live in the old chambers. You are living in the chamber of yesterday. You are cramped. You are trying to fit your current self into a past moment. Tonight, seal the chamber. Visualize the spiral of your sleep. It is starting at the outside edge, wide and fast. This is your waking mind. Now begin to travel inward along the curve. Follow the smooth, pearlescent wall of the shell, round and round. With every turn, the path gets narrower. With every turn, the path gets darker. You are moving towards the center, the golden mean, the point of infinite convergence. The outer world is far away now. You are 3 turns deep. The sound of the ocean is just a murmur through the walls. 4 turns deep. The light is dim. 5 turns deep. You can only crawl now. You are getting small. The nautilus uses its empty chambers to control its buoyancy. It fills them with gas to float or liquid to sink. You are filling your old chambers with silence. You are entering the innermost sanctum, the very center of the spiral. It is a tiny, cozy room. It fits you perfectly. It is lined with mother of pearl. It is smooth and iridescent. Curl up in the center. The geometry of the shell protects you. A spiral is the strongest shape in nature. It deflects pressure. You are hidden in the math of the universe. You are at the 0 point of the curve. There is no more forward to go. You have arrived at the end of the line. Stop moving. The shell is hard. You are soft. The shell is ancient. You are new. Rest in the beautiful mathematical certainty of the spiral. It leads you down inevitably to the point of rest. In Greek mythology, the Fates were weavers. They spun the thread of life, measured it, and cut it. In many cultures, the cosmos itself is seen as a great tapestry being woven on a loom. Sleep is the act of reweaving. During the day, the fabric of your mind gets torn. It gets frayed. You pull at the threads. You snag them on sharp corners. By the evening, you are a ragged cloth. There are holes in your patience. There are tears in your focus. Tonight, you enter the weaver's cottage. It is a small wooden room lit by a single candle. The loom is huge. It is made of dark oak. It dominates the room. The weaver is an old woman with hands that move like birds. She does not speak. She motions for you to lie down on the loom. You are the warp, the vertical threads that are held tight. Sleep is the weft, the horizontal thread that is woven through. The shuttle moves back and forth. Click, clack, swish, click, clack, swish. It is a hypnotic rhythm, left to right, right to left. With every pass of the shuttle, a new line of thread is added. The weaver is repairing you. She is filling in the holes. She is using a thread made of shadow and silence. Watch the shuttle. Click, clack. The eyes close. Click, clack. The breathing evens out. Click, clack. The muscles relax. You are being knitted back together. The fragmented parts of your mind are being bound into a single, strong cloth. The sound of the loom is the heartbeat of the night. It is repetitive. It is boring. It is necessary. You do not have to weave yourself. You just have to hold still. If you move, the pattern gets messed up. Be the warp. Stay tight. Stay straight. Let the shuttle do the work. The fabric is growing. It is covering you. It is a blanket of your own restoration. The pattern is invisible, but it is there. It is the pattern of health. In the morning, the cloth will be whole. You will be seamless. There is a Taoist painting of a mountain, but you cannot see the mountain. You can only see the fog. You know the mountain is there because the fog flows around it, revealing a hint of a cliff here, the top of a pine tree there. The mountain is the unseen guest. You are usually obsessed with the foreground, the things you can see, the tasks, the objects, the screens. Sleep is the background. Sleep is the mountain. You cannot see sleep. You cannot touch it, but it is the massive, solid reality that anchors your life. Tonight, become the mountain. You are Mount Fuji. You are a volcano that has gone extinct. The fire inside is dead. The rock is cold. You are wide at the base. Your feet are the foothills. They spread out into the valley. They are miles wide. You are unshakable. The fog rolls in. The fog is the sleep. It starts in the valleys and rises up. It covers your feet. It covers your knees. It covers your waist. The world below disappears. The villages, the roads, the forests, they are all gone. There is only white mist. You are alone in the sky. The fog rises higher. It covers your chest. It covers your neck. Finally, it covers your summit. You are completely erased. To an observer, there is nothing there, just a wall of white. But you know you are there. You can feel your own mass. You can feel your own gravity. The wind blows against the fog, but it cannot move the rock. The thoughts are birds that try to land on you, but they cannot find a branch in the mist. They fly away. You are invisible. You are anonymous. There is a great relief in being a mountain. You do not have to move. You do not have to grow. You do not have to achieve. You just have to sit. You have sat here for 1,000,000 years, and you will sit for 1,000,000 more. The night is just a passing cloud. The day is just a passing ray of sun. You are the stone that remains. We end our journey in the deepest vault of the subconscious. We return to the concept of the archive, but we go to the basement level, the level of dust. Imagine a library that is infinite. The shelves go on forever, but there are no books here. There are only jars. These jars contain the dust of every day you have ever lived. You are walking down the aisle of 2024. You find the jar labeled with today's date. You are holding the events of the day in your hands. It looks like sand. Some of it is gold, joy. Some of it is black, pain. Some of it is gray, boredom. You are trying to sort the grains. You are trying to keep the gold and throw away the black. But the librarian appears. He is the Sandman. He is made of shadows. He shakes his head. You cannot keep the sand, he whispers. You must seal the jar. You pour the sand into the jar. The colors mix. It all turns to a uniform gray dust. The memory is preserved, but the emotion is neutralized. The sting of the insult is gone. The high of the victory is gone. It is just history now. Screw the lid onto the jar, tight. Place it on the shelf. Push it back into the shadows. Look at the row of jars, thousands of them. They are all the same size. The worst day of your life is just a jar. The best day of your life is just a jar. On the shelf, they are equal. They are silent. Walk away from the shelf. The dust is settling. The aisle is dark. You walk toward the center of the library where there is a large, soft, circular bed. This is the reading room of the void. Lie down. The ceiling is painted with the night sky. The walls are lined with the silence of a million years. You have filed the day away. You have done the paperwork. The library is closing. The lights go out, one by one. Click. The history section goes dark. Click. The future section goes dark. Click. The biography section goes dark. There is only you and the dark. You are a blank page in a closed book, safe, silent, finished. Rest now. The story is over. The peace is here.